Greetings, everyone, and good afternoon. We are in for a treat today. The Redemption 500, which will be pitting 42 of the winless drivers from NASCAR Cup Series in a race to get their first win. James will be joining the broadcast here in a minute. He's going to be in a few seconds, I imagine, getting back. So in the meantime, just hold tight as we're going to get everything set up and ready to go here. This will be one of the last races I run for the NSSR series of racing here on my YouTube channel. We're going to be rolling into the new year with the truck starting on January 10th, the Busch series running the very next day on January 11th, and then a triple header with the Cup series where we will have California, Brands Hatch, and Texas to start out the new year for the Sylvania Cup series. So
I have returned.
howdy, James. Sorry, I
Howdy,
just
howdy.
started the stream. I was getting
No, you're
things
good.
set up, so.
I heard it starting from my. I heard it starting from the living room.
So I'm just
So,
getting all of the right people notified, and we will be getting ready to go here.
okay. Whenever you're ready, I have the list up, and I can make a run through and let everybody know what. For those that don't know, what drivers are running.
Yeah, go ahead and give us a rundown on who's in our 42 race main event here. 42 driver main event.
Yep, I got the names sorted out by alphabetical here on our stats sheet. And starting out, we got Adam Petty, then it's Ben Arnold, Brad Teague, Brendan Gaughan, Buckshot Jones, Buddy Arlington, Chad Little, Danica Patrick, Dave Blaney, David Gilliland, Dick Trickle, Friday Hassler, Hermie Sadler, Hut Strickland, JD McDuffie, JJ Yaley, Jack Sprague, Jason Leffler, Jeff Green, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Jimmy Means, Joe Ruttman, Josh Wise, Kenny Irwin Jr., Kirk Chelmerdine, Landon Castle, Marty Robbins, Matt DiBenedetto, Max Pappas, Michael Annette, Mike Skinner, Parker Kligerman, Randy LaJoy, Reed Sorensen, Richard Childress, Rick Mast, Rick Wilson, Sam Hornish Jr., Scott Riggs, Scott Wimmer, Todd Bodine, Wally Dallenbeck Jr.
And starting on the pole is none other than Jeffrey Earnhardt with Friday Hassler, Randy LaJoy, Marty Robbins, and Rick Wilson to set up our top five. We got Richard Childress there in seventh, who'll be one to keep our eye on. Matt DiBenedetto is a huge fan favorite. And even deeper down the field, looks like Danica Patrick starting 21st. Adam Petty starting 28th. And the guy that's going to have to come from the very rear of the field is Hermie Sadler in 42nd there. So, anyone in comments, do pick who you think is your favorite to win. It's going to be fun to pick your favorites and see who's going to pull off the victory here at Darlington. 500 miles, so you're going to be settled in for a normal endurance length race here, of course. We'll go ahead and get the ball rolling.
touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans.
Drivers, start those engines!
Jeffrey Earnhardt on the pole, that's kind of a interesting one, if I'd say so, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Currently sitting with 0 poles ever, so starting on the pole here is pretty nice for him. I actually don't think any of the top five, I think, let me double check here. Oh, that's not the statistic I wanted to sort it out. Let's see, we got Jeffrey Earnhardt, the 74. Randy LaJoie has no poles as well, so the front two already, starting out good for not having any poles.
Some of the interesting statistics, we only have a couple drivers with very few starts in the actual Cup Series. Adam Petty unfortunately only made 1 start. He would have likely made multiple starts, mini starts, but just reality did not allow that to happen, unfortunately. It'd be cool to see either him or Kenny Irwin Jr. get the win here. Kind of like a what-if scenario if they weren't killed in a racing accident. I do apologize, everyone. It does seem like the stream's going to be a tad laggy. Everything does seem to be running A-okay, though, on the broadcast. My computer's a little bit laggy, but stream-wise, it looks all right. So Jeffrey Earnhardt out to the early lead here over Randy LaJoie. Randy LaJoie being one of those guys that made very minimal starts in the Cup Series. He was a Busch Series champion back in the day in 1998, I believe. That's what his paint scheme is fashioned after, is his Busch car, actually. He only made 44 Cup starts in about I'd say about an 8-year span, so it was like very few races a year, no full seasons in Cup. The driver with the most starts, believe it or not, is JD McDuffie in the number 70 car. He was kind of your career-long, couldn't get a win driver. He holds some of the most bizarre statistics in NASCAR, never finishing on the lead lap, and of his 653 starts, he had 1 pole, 12 top 5s, 106 top 10s, so I mean, that's 1/6 of his season was top 10 finishes, which ain't half bad, actually. But the statistic that is mind-blowing is he had 295 DNFs, which is roughly half of his whole career in NASCAR. Currently sitting in 30th, he's going to have a long way to go to get to the front.
Well, one thing people often forget when they think about JD McDuffie's stats is he didn't do a lot. He did pretty much all the work on his own. He didn't really go to any of the successful teams to be like, hey, I want to buy some of your equipment.
True, he was a private owner for his own team for actually, I think, his entire career. So
Exactly.
He did it out of pocket and just kept racing.
Yeah, and actually, we'll take a quick stroll through most and least real quick of everything. Obviously, you already covered JD McDuffie with the most starts. The least starts in the field today goes to Adam Petty, of course, with just 1. And then for poles, Mike Skinner has the most poles with 6, and then it is a very large majority that have the least with 0. It's about 22 drivers that do not have a pole at all. And then for top 5s, most top 5s currently goes to Joe Ruttman with 19, and then it's $15 drivers tied with 0 top 5s. And then, as you stated, with the most top 10s in the field currently is JD McDuffie with 106. And then tied for none is 7 drivers.
So that's a little bit more
Tight.
That's a little bit more. There's more top 10s handed out for these drivers than there are most of the other stats.
Yep, and as you already stated as well earlier, most DNFs with 295 goes to JD McDuffie. And then if you count more than one, if you exclude Adam Petty with only 1 start, Parker Kligerman has the least DNFs with 6.
And also looking at that statistic, it's kind of impressive to look at, say, like Michael Annett. In his 106 starts, he only had 13 DNFs. That, honestly, was kind of underrated, an underrated driver for sure, but with a, pretty good statistic.
Yeah, no polls, no top 5s or top 10s, but definitely still a statistic to write home about. All right. Oh, Adam Petty with a
Well, let's see exactly what's
slight
going on.
problem.
It'll show us in chat here. Wheel damage. So he's got
Most likely a blown tire or something, or a tire rub at least.
one of the first issues here on track. Leader
Lap
still
16.
belongs to Jeffrey Earnhardt, but it looks like Richard Childress is making some moves now up to 3rd.
Jeffrey Earnhardt currently with 76 starts in the Cup Series with only 20 DNFs and no poles top 5s or top 10s. Richard Childress, as he said, working his way up slowly. 285 starts for him. 6 top 5s, 76 top 10s, and 96 DNFs. Cover Randy LaJoy as well, because he's right here. He's got that is Reed Sorensen you were showing. So Sorensen with 346 starts, 1 pole, 5 top 5s, 15 top 10s, and 78 DNFs.
The race gets down to the nitty-gritty once we start getting green flag pit stops and the like. So right now we're in a long run and still haven't seen a caution into the first 20 laps of the race so far.
Absolutely.
It's been some good racing nonetheless. They've been able to keep him off the wall, and
that top 5 kind of starting to pull away from the rest of the pack there.
True. Yeah, it's luckily we're not seeing too many Darlington stripes.
I'm willing to bet that's probably exactly where Adam Petty picked up his
Damage, possibly.
tire damage.
Being a 500-mile race, he's definitely not out of it, but it's made the day much harder for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Randy LaJoie looks like he's got a run coming off of the turn there. Heading to turn 3. Going to try to carry that momentum to catch up to Jeffrey Earnhardt, possibly.
Jeffrey Earnhardt definitely doing a solid job so far, you know, leading every lap so far in that Hulu Chevy.
That's one statistic I did not pull up, was laps led amongst all drivers, and that would have been a mild headache to try and scrounge those up. But I don't believe that Jeffrey Earnhardt's led all that many laps in real life either.
I don't believe so.
Got a pass here, materializing, it looks like. Yes, as we have Richard Childress now moving into second. RC wants to put his car in victory lane today. Looks like we got three Chevys. Correction, it looks like they're 4 of the top 5 with Friday Hassler in 4th. Then you got a Toyota in 5th. Kenny Irwin's coming up strong there in 6th in the Ford Mustang. Matt DiBenedetto sticking around in the top 10. And country music legend Marty Robbins also running top 10.
Yeah, Marty Robbins doing a solid job. He has currently 35 starts with 1 top 5, 6 top 10s, and 22 DNFs.
So majority of his starts were a DNF.
Yeah. Let's see, compared to Matt DiBenedetto, who just sits in front of him, Matt has 248 starts, 1 pole, 9 top 5s, 31 top 10s, and 31 DNFs as well.
And it's hard to put Matt DiBenedetto in this spot in the race because there's no telling where his career could still head. I mean, just look at
Absolutely.
Allmendinger this year, who's going to be getting another shot at Cup. So
My thoughts, yeah, we're on the same page there. Because even when he was running in Cup 2 years ago now, I guess, he was a solid contender.
and he had good equipment under him, so he had chances to win.
He had multiple chances to win, just a lot of bad situations.
Even Jeffrey Earnhardt's not retired. He's going to be running in Xfinity this year, full time. Richard Childress is retired from racing, so that's not likely going to change with him. Randy LaJoie, his son Corey's out there racing, so Corey's more likely to get a win than Randy. And we got some of the older drivers out there that aren't alive. Still, we got Friday Hassler. Just a little bit further behind him, Kenny Irwin Jr. Parker Kligerman ain't out of it either. He could find a way into a Cup ride and potentially win a race. It could be like a Jamie McMurray kind of thing.
Yeah, see him make a entrance into some big equipment and get a big win.
Yeah, so he could be a fill-in for some driver that might be out on concussion protocol or baby leave, and here we go, Kligerman in a Gibbs car or something, you know?
Currently sitting in the top 5 with Irwin Jr. behind him.
Got some racing going on here, it looks like. Gonna get by Friday Hassler for 4th.
Looked like he gave Hassler a little bit of a nudge coming into 1 there.
Still, the consistent remains out front with Jeffrey Earnhardt.
That allowed Kenny Irwin Jr. to get himself into the top 5 as well. No?
This is also why I chose Darlington, because I know it lends itself to really good racing usually. Like right there, our top 3 are separated under a blanket. So other than Adam Petty at the back, it looks like Jack Sprague in 41st, Hermie Sadler in 40th, Mike Lynette, Josh Wise, JD McDuffie, the 22 of Scott Wimmer, and the 38 of David Gilliland taking up the rear of the field. Still, our whole top 40 is only separated by 16 seconds. That's about half a lap on the field already. And we got 3s are wild up front here, 33 and the 3, running 1 and 2. And they're trying to drive away from the 3rd place driver.
It is Parker Klickerman back there in 3rd, I see, right?
Yep. And they actually bumped Randy LaJoy back as Kenny Irwin comes through the field too.
Trying to find the second 30 on the list here. Oh, Jeff Green. That's Jeff Green in 9th. The rest of that top 5 are fighting for position back there pretty hard.
Hut Strickland sitting in 10th. We have Dick Trickle right behind him. Those 2 cars both being part of the Stavola brothers stable. As you can see, both Buick Regals back at that time.
Dick Trickle with 303 starts, 1 pole, 15 top 5s, 36 top 10s, and 98 DNFs. And then wrong number.
That's kind of interesting because Hut Strickland and Dick Trickle had pretty similar careers if you match the numbers up.
Yeah, I was looking for Hut Strickland over here. 328 starts, 1 pole, 8 top 5s, 29 top 10s, and 83 DNFs. So only 25 more races for Hut Strickland, but still Strickland or Trickle with more top 5s and top 10s, as well as more DNFs in less races.
Well, that's kind of an interesting statistic. We have 3 cars with a 3 in them in the top 3. 33, the 3, and the 30K of Kligerman.
Seems like Children's and Earnhardt are starting to pull away a little bit.
Pit stops are definitely going to throw a wrinkle in this, as we'll likely see pit stops in a handful of laps. I'm assuming around lap 50 to 60.
Yeah, I think it'll come down to how well they get on and off pit road.
And with the distance of this race, lap traffic will be a factor.
Absolutely. I honestly think it'll come in maybe a little bit after
First
pit
round of pit
stops.
stops, yeah.
Because I think a lot of people will try to play the strategy game or try to go long and hope for a caution or something to that nature.
See, we got 6 people. That's the peak at the moment. Thanks for everyone to tune in on this. It is an endurance race. It's going to be about a 2.5-hour race. So tune in, tune out, whatever you want to do. Just keep checking in and seeing how things are going. Currently, if you've missed anything, the first 43 laps have been dominated by Jeffrey Earnhardt, which is kind of a surprise, as statistically Jeffrey Earnhardt would not be a favorite to lead most of these laps at the start of the race, but maybe the NR 2003 gods decided differently, and it's like, heck, Earnhardt needs to be in victory lane. I don't know if the game actually looks that deeply into it, but if Earnhardt's on the, on the windshield, then maybe the game's like that it's destined to be good, right?
Right?
There's a couple other Earnhardts that didn't make the list for this year, but drivers like Kerry Earnhardt, and I know there's at least another Earnhardt that's tried to make starts and stuff, but I don't know if I remember it correctly. Sorry, not trying to jinx him up front. It's funny that the Earnhardt car is racing the Childress car even. Those names synonymous with each other, of course.
All right. So I've gone through and figured out just before it stops here. I've highlighted all the stats for our top 10. Section here. Most starts of the top 10 currently goes to Hut Strickland with 328. Next closest to him would be Richard Childress with 285. Most polls of the top 10 currently goes to Kenny Irwin Jr. with 3. Just behind him with 2 is Jeff Green and Friday Hassler. After that top 10s, it is Friday Hassler with 12. Behind him is Matt DiBenedetto with 9.
Well, and actually, just when you were mentioning all that, Hut Strickland cracked into the top 10. Hut Strickland, who has 29 top 10s, so he currently takes over that coveted top 10 of the top 10s.
No. No, actually. Friday Hassler has 48 compared to Hut Strickland's 29.
Okay. We must have been looking at the wrong statistic there.
And actually, Richard Childress has the most top 10s with 76. Next closest would be Hassler with 48. Then it's DiBenedetto with 31 and Strickland with 29.
Richard Childress has the most DNFs. Nope, maybe not.
Yeah. Yes.
In the top
Next,
10.
within the top 10. Next closest to him would be Hut Strickland with 83.
Dang, Jeffrey Earnhardt's pulling away again on him. It looks like Kligerman's actually reeling Childress in here.
Got a question from the chat about where Wally Dullenbeck Jr. is at.
Let's go from the tail end of the field to the front. He's not in the 35 top. He's better than top 30. He is 23rd, so he's sitting top 25 at the moment. Right behind Jimmy Means. Danica's doing all right with the top 15. Buckshot Jones, Buddy Arrington, and Mike Skinner. Mike Skinner's an interesting one because although he has 0 career wins, he did win an exhibition race in Japan when they went to Suzuka.
Yeah, and his stats are actually fairly. They're not terrible, but they're not great. They're pretty good. 286 starts, 6 poles, 10 top 5s, 39 top 10s, and 72 DNFs. And then as well, you said that exhibition win in Japan.
Which for most of you that are watching might not know what that was. It's kind of like the All-Star race. It was just it wasn't an all-star race, but it was a special event that they hosted in Japan where they had all the cars transported overseas and they ran at Suzuka on the road course, I believe.
That is correct. I believe
they didn't do the
I don't think they ran the full layout. I believe they may have just ran the east layout, I believe. I could be very wrong, but I think that's what they ran.
It'd be nice if NASCAR started up something like that again. It looks like, things are looking better towards a little bit more national appeal. So, I mean, there's a lot of European teams coming to race in NASCAR already, which is a good sign. Thank you, Fardakai, for confirming that it was the Eastern Circuit that they ran at Suzuka.
I was just looking that up. Yeah, thank you, thank you, Fardakai. You beat me to the punch there. So it wasn't that long of a road course over there. I think the east layout is maybe just over a mile.
Oh, we have our first caution though, even though they haven't pitted yet. Let's see, where is the odd one out here?
Ooh, everybody still fighting to see
perhaps
where they shake out at the end there.
A bogus debris caution, maybe?
You might want to go check out whatever happened on the 4. The 4 definitely had a racing stripe. A Martinsville stripe, if you will.
Caution already.
You must have picked that up a while ago then.
This will be our one way to tell. We can pause right at the time of the caution and go through the field. I think it's a bogus debris caution, as we don't have any cars loose or sideways on track. So there was debris on track, which in our 2003 will do that sometimes.
Absolutely. Now would be a great time to set the thing.
What's that?
The GWCs.
Oh, I'm afraid to do anything else.
Yeah, I know.
I'm probably... So we'll leave the... We'll have double file restarts and all that, but green-white checkers I'll leave unabled, disabled, because I do not want to jinx the game and have it...
If for some reason we get a caution towards that point, we can always save and go from there.
I know Tyler was showing me ways that you can actually take the running order and re-rack them for... I don't know. There's a way to do that, but I didn't know that was a thing.
Was that Sam Hornish and who was that just now coming out of the pits, like leaning on each other?
Chad Little, probably. It looked like they were side by side trying to get as much, yeah, right there. They kept it inside the lines, but he was racing him hard just to get off pit road.
Yeah. Tight battle off pit road there. Did Jeffrey Earnhardt manage to re-inherit the lead?
He did.
Yes, he did.
And double file restart's going to make things interesting here, as Richard Petty will have the outside and Parker Kligerman...
That is not Richard Petty, sir.
Richard Childress.
That is...
I got the Richards confused there. Big difference.
Big difference. One has 200 wins, the other does not.
This will be the moment of truth for making sure the dang thing don't... I'm not even going to say it. I ain't going to jinx it.
Probably best.
Lights off on
Knowing
the
it.
car. They're going to get around to the backside and they're going to shuffle up 2 by 2 by 2. This is going to...
Or at least they should.
Enforce some more carnage for sure, having the double file restarts enabled.
I actually think Parker Kligerman might have a good shot of taking the lead here on this restart. He was coming on pretty strong towards the end of that run.
So unfortunately, Adam Petty still 2 laps down. He's going to have a long battle to get back on the lead laps here today.
I think he's going to have to really rely on green flag pit stops and getting a caution at the right time to be able to get those laps back.
Wow, they really dropped their pace there going into the double file setup here.
Everybody just kind of making sure they got everything.
Getting them all bunched up here as... Here we go. Off turn 4. You get going green here. The restart zone.
And we're back underway here.
Should maintain lead at the finish line here. Yep, he did. So that was a legal start. I don't know if the green-white checker better cautions will even recognize something like that, but Parker Kligerman,
I believe the game will itself.
It'll DN, or it'll disqualify someone for it.
It won't necessarily disqualify, but it will hand down a black flag for it.
now we got a little bit of a shakeup at the front as Marty Robbins now into the top 5.
Looks like a lot of people still too wide, further towards the back there.
Likely going to have a wreck here. Maybe not.
Matt
Looks like they're...
DiBenedetto and Scott Riggs side by side there.
And you can just barely slide a piece of paper between the car and the walls here at Darlington.
Absolutely.
They settle into single file for most of the run back, it looks like. Wally Dallenbach Jr. up to 17th, so he's on the move.
Danica losing a couple spots on pit road there.
That's kind of funny. Jimmy Means has been in front of Dallenbach this whole time, so those two are like teamed up, running up to the front. Dick Trickle sitting solidly about where he's been running. DiBenedetto on the downward spiral. Buddy Arrington into the top 10. Jeffrey Earnhardt has led, unless there was a change during pit stops, he's led every lap here. Kligerman and Childress, second and third. Randy LaJoy and Marty Robbins. Still, we have not seen any wrecks. It's been 68 laps of the 367 event here. 298 laps to go. The Redemption 500 here at Darlington. That caution was for debris on track, so it reset the field running order wise, and we still have 41 cars on the lead lap with only Adam Petty 2 laps down in last place. Green flag pit stops is where the race is really going to shake up. Since that caution came out, we were robbed of any green flag pit stops. So we're going to have to go another 70 laps here under green to try and get those green flag pit stops to see how the racing order might get shook up that way, as Jeffrey Earnhardt has dominated for the first 70 laps of this one. Parker Kligerman's been steadily increasing his position, cracking from the top 10 now into the top 5 and fighting for the lead here. He's really fighting for the lead as he's closed in on the rear bumper of Jeffrey Earnhardt. With momentum, he might be able to get around him going into turns 3 and 4 here. Jeffrey kind of separates a little bit. Kligerman with that Toyota Supra is going to try as hard as he can to give Jeffrey Earnhardt hell here. As soon as he gets on the inside of Earnhardt, it's going to push him to the outside, and he will drop like a rock because Richard Childress and Randy LaJoy aren't too far behind. Of the top 5, we've got 3 Chevys, a Toyota, and a Dodge. Then in 6th place, you got a Ford. Looks like the 6th place of Irwin might be fighting Marty Robbins for 5th. Your top 4 all within the same zip code there. And even now, your top 6 going to be within the same zip code as Marty Robbins and Irwin have closed up on 4th place. Some good racing here at Darlington so far. Not a lot of passes for position, but a lot of close quarter panel racing. Past your 6th place, you got the 30 of Jeff Green, 39 of Friday Hassler, the 12 of Hut Strickland, and the 31 of Mike Skinner. Buddy Arrington, and the number 10 is Scott Riggs, the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto, the 76 of Ben Arnold, and the 84 of Dick Trickle, rounding out your top 15. I'll try to keep you guys updated with positions a little bit more periodically here. Looks like the 0 car suffered a header failure, so that gives a spot to the 45 of Adam Petty. Also a lap down right now, Max Pappas, who must have had some kind of reason to fall a lap down. I'd imagine he must have pitted or something of that sort. So the fight for the lead is going strong here. Kligerman is not going anywhere. 16th place, we've got Wally Dallenbach Jr., Danica Patrick, Jimmy Means, Buckshot Jones, and the 1 of Rick Mast. Dave Blaney, Scott Wimmer, Brendan Gaughan, Reed Sorensen, and Landon Castle. One of the fan favorites was Matt DiBenedetto going into this event, holding his own in the top 15. I'm kind of surprised there wasn't more Danica Patrick fans when I was lobbying or running votes for who wanted to see who win. Still a lot of racing to go here. 367 laps here at Darlington is grueling for any form of racing. Kligerman is getting really close to that rear bumper of Jeffrey Earnhardt. Not finding the right window to pounce on the lead here.
Well, he's got to go soon, because if he doesn't, it's looking like Richard Childress may find a way back around him.
Yeah. Kind of see the accordion effect here where they'll close in and then they'll lose the momentum. Then they'll close back in again and lose that momentum.
Looks like we might be about 10, 20 laps away from pit stops again.
Actually, with the way it worked out, I'm thinking pit stops would be lap 120, actually. because they went to lap 60-ish, 65 without pit stops. And we had that caution, so on lap 70, it's going to be like 130 probably. So we have to stay green that whole time until that happens. And there's no telling if we might have a mechanical failure that brings out a caution, or...
Looks like Max Pappas was a little bit off pace the back there.
Yeah, he actually fell a lap down, so he must be having some troubles. We'll see if maybe there was something we missed. Yeah, he pitted. We did have the retiree of Jack Sprague, blew a header.
Updating my list over here to reflect who's out of the race. Yeah, Jeffrey Earnhardt's been doing a solid job all day long.
I think the most impressive part is the group of drivers behind him and how hard they've been fighting. We've seen a lot of moves for position within the top 10 alone. Hut Strickland, outside of the top 10, has cracked into the top 10. Mike Skinner as well, he's been solid. Kind of going off of statistics of his, it's pretty realistic to the statistics of his career.
Yeah. Not a lot of... I mean, lots of... Overall, I'd say Mike Skinner, even though he's almost had 300 starts, had a pretty solid career. I mean, like I said earlier, 6 poles, 10 top 5s, 39 top 10s, and 72 DNFs in 286 races, give or take, exhibitions.
Yeah. And technically, he was a winner, but of course it wasn't a points-paying race. That also is another interesting fact with another driver in our circuit here is Friday Hassler. He was a fill-in driver back in the day when drivers would get fatigued and need someone to stunt for them. Friday Hassler actually finished a race in victory lane. But per NASCAR's rules and regulations, the win went to the driver that started the race. So Friday Hassler never got credited with a win, even though he came in to fill in for the driver at Bristol, finished the other half of the race, and won it.
Yeah, Hassler has 135 starts and only 2 poles, 12 top 5s, and 48 top 10s with 64 DNFs.
And sadly for Friday Hassler, his career in NASCAR was cut short after a Daytona accident way back. This car, the 39, was his signature. A lot like JD McDuffie, I believe. It was kind of his own personal team that they were running. We had smoke on track, but I don't see... Oh, the 72 of Kirk Shelmerdine. He blew up on the front stretch.
That's a tough break for him. Kirk Shelmerdine.
Yeah.
Having
97%.
I hate to say it, but he's being pretty consistent with what his career held.
Yeah.
26 starts and 23 DNFs.
So that's spot on with that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, that 97%, it's just a matter of time before the game will change his statement there to retire due to engine failure. There's no fixing that one.
No, not at all. I ran the math for it was Friday Hassler, and it looks like he essentially spent either 50% of his starts finished behind the garage or with at least either a top 10 or a top 5.
Yeah, he only had 35 finishes outside of the, well, that were not DNFs, about roughly, that were mid-pack runs.
Yeah, because if you add up his DNFs with his top 5s and top 10s, you get 124 races. So that's 11 races that he did finish, just not within the top 10 or DNF.
Yeah. Looks like Wally Dallenbach Jr. cracked into the top 15.
About time for him.
Dick Trickle back to 16. Well, he kind of broke away from Jimmy Means. It was the two of them freight train together. Now Jimmy Means sits 19th behind Wally Dallenbach Jr. I'm going to step away for just a quick second, so I'll let you take the reins.
All right, I'll do some. Let's see. Why don't we go through this top 20 and see what some stats are? Starting with the driver in 11th, the number 67 of Buddy Arlington. 560 starts, 0 poles, 15 top 5s, 103 top 10s, and 177 DNFs. Behind him, the 76 of Ben Arnold has 132 starts, no poles or top 5s, but he has 21 top 10s and 38 DNFs. And then we've already covered the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto, 248 starts, 1 pole, 9 top 5s, 31 top 10s, and 31 DNFs. I believe 14th is Scott Riggs, I believe.
Correct. I'm back.
With 208 starts, 3 poles, 4 top 5s, 16 top 10s, and 58 DNFs. And I will round this out before Jacob joins me back here. The 25 of
Wally
that is
Dallenbach.
Wally Dallenbach. Yep. All the way at the bottom of my list here. 226 starts, 6 top 5s, 23 top 10s, and 59 DNFs. So, those are the cars within the top 15 there.
I still find it crazy with JD McDuffie and his 653 starts that he never finished a race on the lead lap.
Yeah, absolutely astounding statistic. Especially when you consider the fact that he has 12 top 5s and 106 top 10s.
Well, and the closest to that is Buddy Arrington, too, who had 560 starts, 15 top 5s, and 103 top 10s. So, honestly, Buddy Arrington and J.D. McDuffie had a very similar, career trajectory.
Yeah, next closest person to them in starts is the 93 of Dave Blaney with 473 starts, 2 poles, 4 top 5s, 28 top 10s, and 132 DNFs.
See, almost none of these drivers had triple digit in, well, the good categories. Because you
Yeah.
only had McDuffie and Arrington with 103 and 106. It was also very rare to see many of these drivers with double-digit top 5s for the most part.
So just to put everything in perspective, for drivers that have triple-digit starts, Michael Annett had 106 starts. He did not have a single pole, top 5, or top 10. But he did have 13 DNFs. Just outside of, I'd say about 20 outside of double digit of tying Michael Annett with starts is Kenny Irwin with 87 starts, 3 poles, 4 top 5s, 12 top 10s, and 16 DNFs. So that, I feel like that puts that into perspective pretty well when you think about it.
True. I'm having a little bit of input lag on the race here.
Yeah, I noticed that just a second ago.
There was one stream that we did on Tyler's server where the frame rate dropped to 0.01, which I never thought was possible. And I think his computer is even better rated than mine. The only difference is he's got Windows 11 and I've got Windows 10. And that was it's like, oh, I ain't gonna get Windows 11 because I think Windows 10 might be about the cusp of what NR 2003 is comfortable at performing on. Scott Riggs fell to 16th as Wally Dallenbach Jr. gains another spot, and Dick Trickle back into the top 15. So yeah, I'm wagering lap 125 to 130 is where green flag pit stops will occur.
Yeah, I think you're right on the money there.
And that'll be a big test. We'll get to see what these drivers got for pit crews and what strategies are going to play out.
Absolutely. Quick question, because I can't see it. Where is the last person on the lead lap?
The 98 of Josh Wise
Is 26 seconds back. So
and they're running 28-second laps. So they're going to catch him in a matter of a couple laps probably.
That'll be our first car that goes back down.
Max Pappas already a lap down, so that one will be the first one they catch to put him 2 laps down. Been a pretty good race through and through. I mean, still 38 cars on the lead lap. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, only 2 DNFs so far as well. Those being Kirk Shelmerdine and Jack Sprague.
We're 1/3 of the way through the race already. Well, roughly 1/3 of the way. So we'll be looking at a solid 3-hour race here. Thanks for everyone tuning in and sticking around, and many more that'll probably tune in to catch the end of it here. There is a few people betting their money on this. They're not losing money, but the wagers do involve a prize payout for going into next season. We've got Aunt Me Person voting on Jason Leffler. Taden Bergeron betting on Matt DiBenedetto.
That's not looking like a solid bet at this point in the race.
Not quite. Bella Fawn is betting on Danica Patrick. Atlee Weiss with Mike Skinner.
I'd say that's a fairly safe bet with him running in 9th.
Yeah,
I think...
there's a lot of racing to still play out.
Oh, absolutely, but I feel like the closest people are within the top, like... I feel like the people that have the biggest chance if we continue to go green are going to be the people that are already in the top 10 right now.
True that.
And even then, I'd honestly say maybe just the top 7. If we went completely green from now till the end.
Yeah, it's amazing that Jeffrey Earnhardt's as dominant as he's been. I haven't seen if he's on the list here, if anyone picked him. No one picked Jeffrey Earnhardt to win, so that's not a payout. Ewan/Chaz picked Todd Bodine. Guido Piano picked Chad Little. Brian DeBlanc picked Scott Riggs. John Brinker with Landon Castle. Trevor Walker picked Jimmy Means. And Jack Ross picked Buckshot Jones. So yeah, realistically, of the people that have wagered, Atlee with Mike Skinner looking the best so far.
I'm just now noticing that Richard Childress has fallen outside of the top 5 there.
Oh wow. This long run here at Darlington's really going to show who's got the best strategy on their tires.
I'll be interested to see what the difference is between Earnhardt and Kligerman when they cross the line. Because I know before that caution came out, Kligerman was starting to come on strong in the late run.
So we'll look at the lap times here when he comes across the finish line. They're about 3 seconds. Oh, and we have yet another caution will screw us from green flag pit stops. This time
and this one's an actual wreck.
Looks like possibly Landon Castle and Dave Blaney.
I'm thinking more than that. Yeah, it's going to be a few more cars than that. Something happening up towards the front there.
Oh, Danica.
Looks like I almost said Ryan Blaney. That is Dave Blaney.
So Danica just got a little bit too ambitious going into the turn there. Spinning Dave Blaney into the wall. This also collects the 83 of Landon Castle, number 9 of Sam Hornish Jr.
And I think that'll do it.
JJ Yaley gets, nothing out of it. So Sam Hornish disappeared into the abyss pretty quickly there.
Well, he did take a pretty big lick into the wall and then into the 83.
Oh, he didn't. Okay, he kept going. I thought they pulled him onto the garage because he disappeared so quickly.
Essentially, Dave Blaney just got Danica'd.
Yeah.
So bad news for him, but good news for the people at the front that we're getting closer and closer to that time to have to come pit under green.
So we might not have a green flag pit stop the way the race is going. It's going to keep giving us a caution right about that time. Let's see who maintained the lead after pit stops. Ooh, no, no, no. There's collisions going on. I don't know why it's not gonna. No, no.
It should correct itself in a minute.
The 14th place driver just needs to go. That's Scott Riggs, I imagine. No, no. Oh, Friday Hassler's all bound up.
You could EOL the two cars holding the field up, or at least the one. Do you need the? Did that sort itself out, or do you need the code for EOL? Yep, you're gonna need the code for EOL.
There we go. They're getting it figured out.
They're getting it figured out? Alright. Because I just pulled up the thing for the commands if you need them.
Yep.
How's the pace car right now?
Should still be lights on. Yep, and it's going to be lights off right here.
Yep,
And
and everybody should... Yep, it'll work itself out right there. Yep, that'll work itself out just fine.
Yep, they're right on the tail end of the line now. Letting Adam Petty fall to the back here. Damn, that's surprising. So, shuffled the order again. Mike Skinner in 9th. Double file, here we go.
Jacob, I'm gonna leave you by yourself for a few laps. I gotta go pull the car in the garage real quick. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. So we're setting up for the restart here as they're still getting everything shuffled in the back. Meantime, Parker Kligerman and Jeffrey Earnhardt on the front row. Marty Robbins, Kenny Irwin, Randy LaJoy, Richard Childress, Buddy Arrington, Jeff Green, Mike Skinner, and right beside him, the 76 of Ben Arnold. The green flag waves. Kligerman edges just by a hair there on Jeffrey Earnhardt, but Earnhardt with the inside line prevails. Marty Robbins cracking his way into second at the moment. And they're wrecking again. Man, it's going to be a wreck fest now, boys. Let's see where this wreck started. I heard the tires screeching in the audio. It's going to be right there with Jeff Green on the high side as he can't get off the wall. 3 wide there. Teague and Arnold. Oh, Matt DiBenedetto. Jeff Green takes a tumble. Wow, that was a savage spin there after he got re-hit. There's going to be multiple angles to this wreck. We're going to have to slow it down and figure out all who are involved. So yes, Brad Teague makes contact there with Matt DiBenedetto. As you can see, the smoke is pretty heavy right now. Hermie Sadler is who ran into the 30 of Jeff Green. And then that of Max Pappas comes in right here and bangs right into the right rear of Jeff Green. Yeah, Brad Teague, Hermie Sadler, Jeff Green, Matt DiBenedetto, and a whole slew of others that may have gotten some damage during this wreck. So it just so happens that James stepped away at what was the most crazy restart we've had tonight here. Ben Arnold, even though he was 3 wide in the middle, was able to drive away from it. And Dave Blaney got some damage there. And I'm sure we're going to have a few more retirees from that wreck, so we'll have to do some research at the end of the pit stops here. Oh wow, and on pit stops we shuffled the lead around. Jeffrey Earnhardt outside of the top 10. Put Marty Robbins into the lead. So pit stops, we had some stuff change up at the front. Buddy Arrington has cruised his way into a top 3 position at the moment. Richard Childress, Wally Dallenbach Jr. in 5th. Looking good for Wally Dallenbach. The 84 of Dick Trickle, the 52 of Jimmy Means, Brendan Gaughan, Michael Annette. Somehow they must have stayed out. That's probably how this shaked up, is a bunch of drivers staying out. The severely damaged car of Sam Hornish Jr. in the top 10 for this restart going onward. That's going to be trouble. The 83 of Landon Castle, the 41 of Reed Sorensen. Our leader is going to be facing some adversity for the first time in the race, as he is going to be starting 11th on field here. Okay, so they're dropping the lap car of Landon Castle to the back. First time in the race, we have a new leader, Marty Robbins. As we were highlighting Marty Robbins' statistics earlier, he's only had 35 starts in the NASCAR Cup Series, 1 top 5, 6 top 10s, and 22 DNFs. So he is stumping the odds here today, running when usually he would be a DNF in a race. Most possibly one of the only scenarios where musician, a celebrity, was a NASCAR driver. Marty Robbins, a renowned country artist, decided to go NASCAR racing. Obviously had money from his country music career and decided to go race with all the other NASCAR guys. Put together a few good runs in his 35 races in the Cup Series. This is definitely one of those historic moments in NASCAR that it'd be cool to see be a factor again in the future. You know, crossovers from all walks of life. That's what, was interesting about it. Who in their rightful mind would say a country artist should go hop in a NASCAR race car? Very few people. We have some people down pit road on this run, so that's going to throw things out of whack. Everything's kind of in turmoil right now after that caution. Jeffrey Earnhardt's got some work to do here, as the drivers that stayed out are all pitting. So NR 2003 AI at its finest, which is, I'm obviously being sarcastic there. For at least the top runners that we've had all day are still running in the top, so. Yeah, no, when James walked away, all hell broke loose, as now you can see the bottom of our list. Retirees include the 70 of JD McDuffie, who's still going to fail to finish on the lead lap at the end of one of these races. 38 of David Gillen, the 02 of Hermie Sadler, number 4 of Rick Wilson, number 30 of, that would be Jeff Green. He ran out of fuel. That's where the caution came out when he wrecked. 21 of Matt DiBenedetto, the 13 of Max Pappas, 72 of Kirk Shelmerdine, and the 0 of Jack Sprague. And we only have 21 cars on the lead lap now. A lot of varying strategies going on. And our leader for the majority of the start of this event, the 33 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, running in 12th. He's going to pick off a spot to get up to 11th there. Oh, and Brendan Gaughan gets a little bit out of sorts, falling backwards, putting Jeffrey Earnhardt up to 10th. Jeffrey Earnhardt's going to be fighting Irwin on the inside here. And this is why we got, you know, an endurance full-length race here, because if this race was only 100 laps long, we would have never had that caution to shake things up. Our winner at lap 100 would have been Jeffrey Earnhardt. And, but now we're treated to a spectacle here where Marty Robbins has a chance to win it. Parker Kligerman with the lap traffic there holding up Marty Robbins. Might be able to find a way around for the lead here. Hold tight with me as I save the first initial start of this race. I do this because it doesn't save the replays in entirety. Okay, sorry about that. 136 laps into this race, and our two main leaders have been Jeffrey Earnhardt and now Marty Robbins. As you can see, the lap traffic of Dave Blaney and Adam Petty are holding up the leaders and bunching them up really tightly here. Our top 8 separated by just over a second. Actually, all within under a second. Our top 10 all separated by just over a second. And that's gonna tighten up even more too, as we are seeing follow the leader at the moment. Top 10 separated by less than a second. So this is the tightest that the lead pack has been all day, apart from double file restarts. Dick Trickle in the top 5. Wally Dallenbach Jr. in 3rd.
Wow, I'm gone for what, 10 minutes and we have a major shakeup?
Yeah, so you missed one of the biggest wrecks that we had in the race so far.
Oh, wow.
You might have to catch a replay of it.
I'll go
Or-
back and catch a replay of it on the stream. What was it, like 5 minutes ago or so? What lap was it?
Would have been after the restart, so right when you left. I can't remember the lap count, unfortunately.
That's fine. Okay, I'm back to just...
In the meantime, I'll keep updating you on the lead. We just had a lead change here. Parker Kligerman gets by Marty Robbins. Marty Robbins stuck in the sucker lane in the high groove. Fall back to third here. We're able to rewind back a little bit to check out the wreck.
Yeah, I'm at the...
Yeah, Jeff Green ran out of fuel on the outside there, causing 3 wide. And Jeff Green got spinning around like a top there when he got hit by the other car coming, the 13 of Max Pappas, I believe. So that was a pretty big wreck for the whole field. Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Big start by Marty Robbins there.
Yeah, Jeffrey Earnhardt lost the lead on pit stops. I think the majority of the field must have stayed out, and Earnhardt pitted. So he's out there with fresher tires by about 5 laps, and the other guys stayed out.
Oh man!
If you're back
right in front of the middle of the field.
Yeah. Yeah, and so the retirees were that of J.D. McDuffie, David Gilliland, Hermie Sadler, Rick Wilson, Jeff Green, Matt DiMenedetto, and Max Pappas from that caution. Heck yeah, Wally Dallenbach Jr. is trying to take the lead from Parker Kligerman. Using that Hendrick power to his advantage in this race. Yeah, like I was saying in the broadcast, this is the reason why endurance races are such a important factor in motorsports, because at lap 100, your winner of the race would have been the guy that dominated. But with, you know, as many laps as this race is, we're getting to see a different kind of race after that wreck and everything. Different opportunities for different drivers and a lot of action. And Jeffrey Earnhardt's getting his way back into the top 5 here as he's running right behind Dick Trickle in 6th. Those fresher tires, I think, are going to start to prevail as he had pitted when everyone else stayed out. Yep, he's getting right underneath Dick Trickle. Going to be up to 5th now. Wally Dallenbach Jr.
I was just about to say, Wally Dallenbach with a solid run up to 2nd now.
Yeah, look at that. He's doing it like a champ around those turns, just peeking on the inside and fighting them off one at a time. Oh wow, he just gave Robbins a love tap there. Wally's gonna have to hold off the hard charging Jeffrey Earnhardt here. Does so for that lap.
Are there any more cars DNF'd past 34th?
Oh, we just had another retire.
That is the 83.
Landon Castle.
A lot of cars out of this race now.
Yep, a whole different ball game.
You got to feel a little bit bad for Jeffrey Earnhardt, though. I mean, he was dominating this race before that.
Oh, and he's right there. He's got the faster car. Given some adversity, kind of shines the strength of his car here today. Yep, and he's going to pick off Wally Dahlin back there.
Big bobble by the one back there. Almost put himself into the wall there, coming out of 4.
Oh, and he muscles his way to the lead there as he bumps Parker Kligerman out of the lead. But Wally Dahlin back, looking like best case scenario there for him as he settled right back into second.
I think these lap cars are going to be a massive problem.
Yeah, Jeffrey's going to pick off. No, Adam's going to fight him on the outside and maintain that position.
That's the line you want, sort of, at this point in the race, is that line where you can kind of arch your way off the corner.
I'm amazed at the strength on Jeffrey Earnhardt. He is just bulldozing his way through.
And now he goes by Dave Blaney.
And sadly, I think he's going to drive away from these other guys on older tires.
Doesn't look like Wally Dallenbeck will have much of a problem getting by the lap cars, so maybe he'll be able to reel him back in fairly quickly and put up a good fight.
From the lead back to 4th, Parker Kligerman slotting into 4th. Correction, looks like, no, yeah, he's 4th because Marty Robbins has fallen out of the top 3 there. Mike Skinner in the top 10.
Dave Blaney definitely causing a massive problem for the cars on the lead lap there.
Now Wally Dahlin back, not letting Jeffrey Earnhardt get too far away.
Getting real close to that halfway mark being 183. 83 or 84, roughly.
Man, Wally Dallenbach's statistics don't look half bad with 6 top 5s, 23 top 10s, and 59 DNFs in 226 starts.
No, not terrible at all. Jeffrey Earnhardt with the lowest of the top three right now, with 76 starts and 20 DNFs. Nothing else in the columns.
And I guess even looking at, say, Richard Childress, who had 285 starts, 6 top 5s, and 76 top 10s. So he had a pretty good chunk of top 10s in his career.
Oh, Wally Dallenbach getting shoved out of the top 4 there.
Childress securing second for the moment.
Back to the way we started this race, pretty much.
Yep, it's funny how the cream rises to the top. The only difference is Marty Robbins and Wally Dallenbach for the most part. You got Mike Skinner there in 6th, ever so slightly being a ninja in the background.
Why don't we do a rundown of the stats of the drivers that are out of the event?
Sounds good. We can kind of add on to who's got, the most DNFs amongst the ones that DNF'd.
Yeah, give me just a second to highlight them all, and then I'll go through. Oop, zooming out. Alright, got them all highlighted. Going from A to Z here, no particular order. First up on the list here is David Gilliland with 333 starts. 3 poles, 4 top 5s, 8 top 10s, and 53 DNFs. And he will finish 35th. Next up is Hermie Sadler with 66 starts and 36 DNFs, no other stats. He'll end up 36th there.
So that's kind of spot on.
Yep. JD McDuffie with 653 starts, 1 pole, 12 top 5s, 106 top 10s, and 295 DNFs.
Also on point.
Yep, he'll finish 70th. Or 34th, not 70th. Wow. First car out of the field was Jack Sprague, who has 24 starts and 7 DNFs, so wasn't a bad driver during his career, just not a very lucky one.
He was a very, relish truck driver, though. He won championship in trucks, and so his Cup career didn't take off, but he was definitely a really good truck series driver.
Absolutely. Next up on our list is Jeff Green, who will finish 38th. He has 270 starts, 2 poles, 5 top 5s, 16 top 10s, and 48 DNFs.
Man, that 48, that's a small amount of DNFs for Jeff Green. I would have figured he had far more than that.
Yeah. I'd say, if anything, he was at least probably consistent in his career.
Yeah.
And then after Jeff Green, we have the 72, who was our second car out of the race. That would be Kirk Shelmerdine with 26 starts and 23 DNFs. So,
oof.
Continuing on par with what his career was. After him, finishing... You want to scroll up one for me? Finishing 33rd will be Landon Castle with 343 starts, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10s, and 62 DNFs.
And I'll also add to that is we had another retiree, the 22 of Scott Wimmer, finishing 32nd. As you can see, the length of the race is starting to claim more victims in the failures. He had 111 starts, 0 poles, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, and 22 DNFs on his career.
So, not a bad career at all. Just
not bad, no.
Lacking some luck. To continue on from where we were, finishing 39th will be Matt DiBenedetto with 248 starts, 1 pole, 9 top 5s, 31 top 10s, and 31 DNFs as well. Honestly, his career's still going in trucks. He's doing a solid job down there. Slowly learning. Even got himself a win down there.
True, truck win.
So, and it seemed like with fairly decent equipment, he was a contender in Cup. So I don't foresee those stats not getting better. After Matt Benedetto, finishing behind him in 40th, was Max Pappas with 36 starts, 1 top 10, and 14 DNFs. So, not exactly a great Cup career for Max Pappas.
Well, and he never ran a full season. He always kind
No.
of filled in on road courses, I believe.
Yes. And then after Max Pappas, finishing 37th, will be Rick Wilson with 206 starts, 1 pole, 5 top 5s, 23 top 10s, and 82 DNFs. Not a terrible career at all,
No,
by any sense of the imagination.
nope. He was probably a contender for wins in some races. It just didn't fall his way. 12, was it how many top 5s? Or 5 top
23.
5s and 23 top
Oh,
10s.
Yeah. Yeah, so not a terrible career, just once again another driver that just needed a little bit of luck.
Does that polish up all the ones that at the tail end of the field?
Yep, that polishes everybody that is out of the race, because you already covered the last driver on the list, which was Scott Wimmer.
And it looks like we still have 21 cars on the lead lap. The 9 there of 9 of Sam Hornish Jr. likely to go a lap down with the damage sustained in his wreck from the previous caution. Caution free since that caution.
Credit goes to going to Parker Kligerman here. Got bumped out of the top 5 by our leader, and has managed to work his way back up to second. And it looks like he's slowly reeling in Jeffrey Earnhardt.
I think the tires are starting to even out here. Is the advantage that Jeffrey Earnhardt had is now gone. We'll see lap times at the finish line here. He turned a 31.0 and just barely a little bit quicker for Jeffrey Earnhardt with a 30.9. Not by much.
No, not much at all. What do you say we make our picks at the halfway point here in 10 laps?
Sure.
9 laps now.
Since we don't really have commercial breaks on here like the real broadcast, we ain't gonna come back from commercial break to make our pick for the win.
I figure we can do it at the halfway point.
And that is, yet again, what is halfway?
Either 83 or 84.
All
It's
right.
really up to you what you want to call halfway.
So 183, make our picks.
Because when I did my calculations, it said 183.5. So do with that what you wanted to do. Looks like we got a lot of decent battles going on around the track. We've got a few different small packs going on now at this point.
Even like Danica causing that wreck earlier, she's still running pretty good here in 18th.
Yeah, no, not bad. I feel like that's pretty standard for her.
Surviving the attrition as best she could.
Or causing the attrition.
Right?
Depending on the day. Don't you dare come after me, comments. You know I'm right.
Randy LaJoy still sitting in the top 15. Even Scott Riggs in 11 and Brendan Gaughan in 10.
For a second, I thought Riggs got bumped up to 10th, and I was like, what happened? Who just went down pit road?
Dick Trickle doing pretty good.
sitting ninth.
Ben Arnold, who is
Ben
an
Arnold. We have
interesting
not
one.
talked about him today. Sitting in eighth, he has 132 starts, 21 top tens, and 38 DNFs.
So amongst that, he basically was, not bad.
No.
You got to think he was running during the era of Richard Petty, so he had some
Yeah.
stiff competition to race against.
Yeah.
This 3-car separation from the leaders, they might be able to group up and try to catch the lead 4.
Possibly. Looks like Jeffrey Earnhardt keeping those 3 behind him at a fairly decent margin.
Oh, lap traffic's gonna play a
Yeah.
factor again here.
Or Dave Blaney. I don't know why I keep wanting to call Dave Ryan. What's the lap time between our leader and Dave Blaney?
A 33.1 to a 31.2, so he's dropping 2 seconds a lap.
Almost 3, really. Coming to halfway next time by.
Yeah, I'm thinking our next big hurdle is going to be green flag pit stops, as we've seen enough attrition already that likely we're going to get a green flag pit stop going forward here.
Yeah, we have too few cars to have the possibility of another
So halfway,
caution coming out there.
183 of 367. We're just around 250 miles done of the 500-mile event here. My pick to win, I'm going to put my money on Parker Kligerman. I think the Toyota might be a little bit more underrated here in the race, and I think he's got what it takes to pull off victory. Who's your pick?
You just stole my pick. So for me, honestly, I'm gonna have to go with probably either Jeffrey Earnhardt is gonna go. If I had to make one pick, since I have to make one pick, I'm gonna say Jeffrey Earnhardt's gonna continue on, and if this race goes green, he's gonna finish. He's gonna take this win.
He's got the strategy in his favor right now, but
And he's been absolutely dominant. Anytime he's made it to the front, he's absolutely pulled away. Almost a second back to Parker Kligerman right now.
lap traffic's going to be the only thing hindering him going forward. They ran nearly identical laps right now, so the fall off, I think, has reached the max for the driver's tires.
Yeah, I think. Squeaked out a 4th there. I think that it feels like Jeffrey doesn't really struggle with the lap traffic as bad as the rest of the drivers in the top 3 right now, or in the top 4.
Yeah, it seems like he's got the speed and the know-how to get in them without wrecking them and pass them with ease. We're going to be down to 20 cars on the lead lap once he gets by Sam Hornish Jr. there in front of him. The 26 of Teague going to go 4 laps down. Oh, and the 9 is pitting now, so that'll save us a little bit of headache from the lap traffic. Still a little bit early for green flag pit stops. I believe that's just a courtesy pit stop, so you didn't have to hold up the lead pack here. Going into 2023, this might be one of the longer streams of my series, as I'm going to be focusing on the trucks, Busch, and Cup to try and give them an endurance feel, but at the same time expedite the distance so that it's a little bit more streamer friendly. I'm hoping to maybe focus on the Cup races being the lengthy ones at about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours in length. Our Busch races will be under an hour and a half, and trucks to be within under an hour in distance, so that we got, we got one day we'll have the 1 hour truck, the next day we'll have the over hour Busch series, and then the Cup race will be the main course at the end of the week. That, I'm also going to start juggling iRacing duties next year too, starting actually before and after Christmas. I'll be doing a Daytona race for Stepping Stone Motorsports for James here, so
Yeah, I think you'll do a solid job over there.
I got a bit of a
got
learning curve to hurdle at the moment, but
well, you honestly have you're gonna have a great teammate in gaming to lean on and kind of give you advice on where you might be missing.
and with fixed setups, that's going to make things a little bit easier too.
Absolutely.
And Josh will be starting the next race following Daytona, so the first of the year, right?
Yes. Yes, he'll be starting in, I believe it's Michigan?
And that'll be like January 2nd or so, I believe.
I believe so. I believe you are correct.
I can't believe
Yes, that'll be Michigan on the 2nd.
It's almost 2023 already. It's crazy.
Yeah, no. We're only a week away. Well, I guess a week away tomorrow, but
So we got green flag pit stops happening right now. So things are going to get wonky here for a moment as our leader
here comes our leader.
is coming down pit road. New leader is going to be for
The 28 of
let's say past the finish
Kenny
line.
Irwin Jr.
He might be pitting
if he does
too.
not pit.
The start finish line's right there. Jeffrey's going to maintain the lead under pit road.
Kenny Irwin in as well behind him. So it's looking like that might hand the lead off to Parker Klickerman. Where is he at on track right now? There he is, 4th right now.
He did pit already, so smart. So that strategy might pay off for him here.
We'll see what happens here.
Jeffrey should be coming off pit road as
Yep, right there.
see. Damn, Jimmy Means. That means Means is going to be up to 2nd here. Whoa.
Oh, wow.
No, that's actually the 25 of Wally Dallenbach with the lead at the moment. 3 of Richard Childress. 67 is a lap down.
I got a feeling this is going to get ugly.
Things are getting a little bit chaotic here at the front.
And once again, Adam Petty kind of holding up the front of the pack there.
They're driving about as slow as... Oh, caution did come out.
Oh? I'm gonna... Oh, no, I saw smoke.
Oh, Ben Arnold.
Something to...
We were talking about how his day was going just a little while ago.
Yeah. His day was turning out so well, too. Oh, no. Trickle, too.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Just
They
plows into the back of the one of Rick Mast.
the lap traffic that accordioned into them losing
Oh,
sight.
I wondered, did Rick Mast get into the back of Jeffrey Earnhardt because of that?
Very slightly.
Yep.
I don't think there's going to be too much to come of it, but sadly for Dick Trickle and Ben Arnold, it looks like their day just got progressively harder.
Especially Ben Arnold, who... That's such a shame for him. Like, he was having such a good day.
And it'll be a retirement for him, I'm sure. So we have another caution here with about 200 laps to go. No, under 200. It's about 160, 70,
170. 170 exactly, actually. Once they cross the line, it'll be 170 exactly.
Atlee's guy, Mike Skinner, sitting in second there, so that'll be a big payday for Atlee if Mike Skinner can pull this off. Yet again, the 33 of Jeffrey Earnhardt's going to have to face adversity as he's going to be outside of the top 5 on the restart.
I don't know if you want to do it. Is the 76 actually lapped down, or is he on the lead lap?
Well, he's still running.
Oh, not the 76. Pardon me. I was talking about the car sitting in front of our leader. Actually,
The 67 right on the tail end of the lead lap.
did you want to, while they are under caution, give him the wave?
Is there a good way to do that through the chat
Ye-
function?
Yes, there is.
I don't have the modified NR 2003 if that makes a difference.
We can try it. If it works, great. If not, then it's going to be exclamation point,
Okay.
wave, and then the number. Space, then the number. Well, you're going to want to put the hashtag.
Oh, dollar
Sorry.
sign? Oh,
Yep. Sorry, my bad.
wave number 67, or space number 67, like that?
Yep. Okay. Nope.
Yeah, I think I need the modified.
Yep. That's okay. It was worth a try. Try to get him out of the way there, but better caution should sort him out.
Yeah, I think it'll probably send him to the back.
It might just give him a wave around itself. Or he'll line up on the inside. One of the two. Did any of our drivers involved in that wreck? Yep, everybody's just gonna try to sneak by all the lapped cars.
Doesn't look like we had any retirees. Ben Arnold's actually still on the lead lap.
Okay, so nobody who was involved in that wreck retired out.
Nope.
That is impressive, sir.
And that leaves us with 18 cars on the lead lap.
That's kind of brutal for the 67 because he did manage to stay in front of the leaders and during all that, but he's going to still end up a lap down.
True. Kind of discombobulated at the back half there, but
They'll sort it out here. Yep, they got it all sorted.
yep, and they'll catch the leaders just about the time when it hits the restart zone. So Ben Arnold's day is not over yet. He's still, I mean, he could survive any more carnage and gain some more spots. Who knows? He might end up with the top 10 here.
Yeah, looks like you called it. They'll pick up the rear just as the
Dang, they're gonna have
green flag flies
momentum.
here.
So to the lead is Marty Robbins. Mike Skinner on the outside and Hut Strickland on the inside up to third, passing him for second.
Scott Riggs fighting with Jeffrey Earnhardt there to get himself within the spitting distance of the top 5. You know, it's good to see Marty Robbins finally leading this race. I mean, he's been right there the whole race.
True. He did lead when you were gone for a brief moment, and it seems like in a similar situation here, he led on the restart like last time, but I don't know if Jeffrey Earnhardt's going to have as much luck here catching back up to the leaders.
No, he got shuffled out hard on that restart.
He's struggling right now to get back through the field. Now that everyone's on even tires.
Whoa!
He gave Wally Dallenbach a run for the money there.
It's going to leave the door open for Danica Patrick to get inside the top 10 there. Something must have happened to the 12 of Strickland. He was running third there for a few laps. Now he's all the way back to 5th.
I see Jack Ross made a comment, where is Buckshot Jones? He's still out there running. He's 28th, one lap down. Being one lap down, it's going to be a little bit easier to get back on the lead lap with some luck here. But currently running 28th, one lap down.
Jeffrey Earnhardt picking off drivers one by one here.
And he has got a stout car here today.
I actually think that little bit of damage from the one getting to the back of him might have helped him somehow. Because he actually seems faster right now than what he was.
Might have threw off the game plan just a little bit too, since he got shuffled out here. Fastest lap does belong to Marty Robbins. Second, Ben Arnold. Third, Matt DiBenedetto. Have to look all the way back to fourth for Jeffrey Earnhardt. And then Mike Skinner, fifth fastest lap.
Ooh, attempted to make a move on Hut Strickland there. Couldn't make it work though. Looks like Jeffrey keeps trying to line up Hut Strickland coming into the corner. Just keeps struggling to find the right timing for it.
Strickland's racing him pretty hard.
Well, Strickland is kind of the gatekeeper for him to start making his way towards Marty Robbins. So,
man, you got to give Friday Hassler credit for maintaining position in the top 5 like that.
I'm beginning to wonder if maybe something happened to Hut Strickland. Because he's slowly falling back. No?
He's just off a hair on the strategy. Ran a 29.1, which was actually in line with the guys around him.
29.2 for Childress. Wow.
Jeffrey Earnhardt's just fast. And we might have a potential fight for the lead here. Kligerman is giving Robbins a little bit of sweat here.
Yeah, I mean, we said it earlier. The two favorites are probably Kligerman and Jeffrey Earnhardt.
There was a car stalled on track. We'll yet to see if
Yeah.
that'll bring out a caution or not. Rick Mast, he had
A suspension failure.
Yep, suspension. No
That's
caution
most likely going to end his day.
as we continue green. And Jeffrey Earnhardt's now up to 4th, running with clear track in front of him.
He has a long ways to go to catch the back of Hassler.
Looks like, sadly for Wally Dallenbach, his run at the front's kind of petered out as he fell back to 12th. Danica Patrick's just knocking on the door of a top 10 in 11th there. Brendan Gaughan holding it for time being, but Danica's going to try to get by him, it looks like. And keep an eye on the lead deficit in case that shrinks. Right here it looks like we've got one of the better battles going on.
Dallenbach also knocking on that top 10 as well. Just has to find a way to get around Danica Patrick.
Lead continues to stay pretty steady between Kligerman and Robbins. So just another moment here. I'm gonna make the second checkpoint for save number 2 here. Since the replays seem to cut out like half a gig into how much they can save. We're reaching
The distance between Robbins and Kligerman shrank by a good chunk there.
Good catch, good catch. Let's see how that's going. Oh, and we have a lead
Oh,
change. Let's go back a lap and see how this materialized. Rao from the front stretch, he just drove around him into turn 1. Had the momentum. Looks like Friday Hassler had to settle into 3rd there behind him. But now we got another new leader at the front. He's led a couple laps already, but lead change. P1, Parker Kligerman.
And that's with 150 to go at this point. This point in the game, yeah. 150 to go when they cross the line.
And it's going to be Kligerman's best opportunity now that he can try to drive away from Jeffrey Earnhardt here. Because Earnhardt's going to be prime contender, but Jeffrey Earnhardt's kind of plateaued on his move up to the front here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's gaining, but I don't think he's losing much every lap either. We'll see what the gap changes to once they both cross the line here. Oh wow,
very slightly.
that was a good gain though. Good gain though by Earnhardt. Coming up on the first lap car of this run.
Yeah, if he keeps at that pace, he'll catch the lead in about 12 laps. But of course, passing him's another story.
Yeah, he's got three cars to pass to get to the front, and all three of them have been very strong about keeping people behind them. We got a question of where is Buckshot?
Oh, I answered that earlier.
Oh,
But,
did you?
see if Buckshot's made any positions. Looks like he's went from 28th up to 26th, so he's still making up spots. The one car failed with suspension failure. So Rick Wilson,
I mean, Mast.
or yeah, Rick Mast, pair of Ricks.
Finishing 31st, he has 364 starts, 4 poles, 7 top 5s, 36 top 10s, and 79 DNFs.
He has the least amount of DNFs amongst the top 5 starters. That's a pretty admirable feat.
And he sits 13 or 12th on the most DNFs.
And
then
5th amount of highest starts. So yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, not bad at all.
We have another failure, the 77 of Brendan Gaughan. So
Oh, with a piston.
500 miles here at Darlington claims yet another. Brendan Gaughan's career, he had 67 starts, 0 poles, 1 top 5, and 8 top 10s, and 18 DNFs in those 76 starts. 67 starts, my bad.
I feel like Brendan Gaughan's always been consistent.
Yeah.
He's not a bad driver. He's always consistent.
And I do believe he is completely retired from Cup competition. He
I
ran
believe so, yes.
a couple races in the past couple years, but I think he's kind of hung up his hat for the most part. Yep, our attrition continues to grow lap by lap right now. Well, the lead's going backwards for, well, the Jeffrey Earnhardt's going backwards on catching the leader.
I'm wondering if maybe he got caught behind those 2 lap cars for a little bit. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we should be getting close to green flag pit stops again.
It's going to be close. And we've seen just how that affected this last run.
Yeah.
$140 laps to go.
These laps are ticking away pretty quickly. What are the lap times that are running right now? That'll tell us how close we're getting to pit stops.
Leader at a 30.0.
Feels like once they hit 31s, we get pretty close.
Yeah, so they're about halfway through this run, I believe.
Yep.
It's about 80 to 90 laps for a run. So as long as they can get to lap, we still got about 2 more pit stops to go in this race with the distance.
Yeah.
They're not close enough to make to lap 300. They're going to have to hit probably about lap 250. And then again at about 3:25, I imagine. But that'll give us a good run to the finish if it stays green this whole time.
I honestly think that they'll try that everybody within the top, I'd say top 5, maybe only the top 4 will try to push it as far as they can without running out.
True. Jeffrey Earnhardt is kind of stuck in no man's land there. He's just sitting in a bubble of 2.5 seconds back.
Almost 3, really.
Marty Robbins and Friday Hassler are still within striking distance of the lead here. Wow, 2.5 now, down to 2.46. That was a good lap for Jeffrey.
Yeah, I think if we continue to go green from now till the end, it's going to be between those top 4. Just because Richard Childress is 7 seconds back from Parker Kligerman.
Oh, look at
And
that. Danica cracked into the top 10.
Jeffrey Earnhardt just knocked down his distance again.
Wally Dallenbach in 11th. Ben Arnold with a damaged car. He's still outpacing a couple cars behind him. Better than that of Jason Leffler and Dick Trickle. With a couple more drivers falling out. Buckshot Jones up to 24th. That's right, the 77 of... That's how Danica got her position, because Brendan Gaughan was running top 10, holding her off.
Oh, wow. Jeffrey Earnhardt really reeling them in now. Almost got it down to just under 2 seconds.
Oh, Kligerman ran a 30.4. If you go back, it's going to be like a 30 flat for... No, 30.2 for Jeffrey. Here we go, down to 2 seconds. The deficit from first to fourth.
You gotta wonder, is he gonna catch them before green flag pit stops start?
I don't know if he'll be able to pass anyone, it looks like.
It looks like these 3 are just kind of in a train, just kind of riding it out for now.
Mm-hmm.
Not really trying to do anything. Just as I say that, Hassler makes a very successful move on Robbins.
That was a nice pass for second there.
It was. Although, wow, Robbins fell off hard there.
Well, I think that
For
was
a
the
second.
advantage of getting that inside line. When you get that inside line, you kind of have to do a panic check and let up throttle, or else risk getting wrecked into. Ooh, 1.79 now.
I was just about to say that. Just under 2 seconds now for Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Kenny Irwin, Hut Strickland, Scott Riggs. Childress really dropped hard there to 8th. Mike Skinner 9th, and Danica Patrick 10 for 10.
Let's see, did he gain any more this time? Oh, I'm gonna guess yes. Oh yeah, he knocked another 2. 130 laps to go now.
Lap times are slowly creeping towards that 31-second echelon.
Another 2/10 there.
Jeffrey is gonna be breathing down their necks. Oh no. Why did they do that? Damn YouTube. Disregard the comment section.
Oh,
Remove.
while he does that.
You know that's been long enough on a stream when you start getting spammers.
Yep. Jeffrey down to a second back from Parker.
Nice.
He is absolutely cooking right now.
And this is the kind of thing you like to see in a race where the strategies start to differ. You get to see a run like this, a charge to the front.
Under a second now.
It's looking like we're going to have a 4-car fight for the finale here. Both of our halfway picks are still alive because you picked Jeffrey Earnhardt, I picked Parker Kligerman.
I feel like Robbins and Hassler are both here just to kind of play spoiler at this point.
Man, could you imagine if all 4 of them went 4 wide and wrecked each other, and then somewhere in the back it was like Scott Riggs or Richard Childress that just drove to victory? That'd be crazy.
That'd be absolute madness.
Perhaps.
And this lap car just made everything all the more interesting. Because here's Jeffrey Earnhardt now.
He's gonna pick them off one at a time. Just you watch. To help that lap traffic.
Yeah, there we go. Here he goes on Robbins.
Man, he was
Up
almost
to
gonna
third
go
now.
2 birds with 1 stone.
Hassler holding him up just a little. Still working on trying to get by that lap car. Wow, that's close. That was close. And that's actually exactly what Parker Kligerman wants to see. That lap car just holding them up. Jeffrey going to put himself up to second here.
They're having trouble getting around Joe Ruttman there in the 98R. This is giving Kligerman a little bit more opportunity to drive away from Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Yeah, Ruttman has 225 starts, 3 poles, 19 top 5s, 60 top 10s, and 96 DNFs. So his day is going about as well as his career was.
Not bad in the top 10 department. He had the 4th highest of top 10s. Honestly, in 19 top 5s, he actually was number 1 in the top 5 category.
Yeah.
In as few starts as he had at 225, it's not bad.
No.
Most of his top 10s were those top 5s even, to think about it. You take away those 19 top 5s, he had 31 top 10s. No, 40, 50, 41. Yeah, 41 top 10s. It's one thing I forget about is the fact that top 5s, top 10s include your top 5s. So you look at someone on the stats like, for example, let's see. Landon Castle, 2 top 5s and 2 top 10s. His 2 top 10s
120 to go.
Were those 2 top 5s. Yeah, and Earnhardt's right there on the bumper.
And it looked like Hassler and Robbins got by the 98 of Ruttman. So they could start reeling these two in. But I don't know if I see it. These two have been absolutely dominant the whole race.
They've been the class of the show for sure.
I think Hassler and Robbins are hoping these two maybe take each other out, because once those two are gone, those two have been pretty consistent all day.
Oh, we do have lap traffic right in the front, right in their front view there. Jeffrey lost some connection to the lead there on that. Yeah, they're gonna have
Oh, wow.
a long train of lap cars to deal with here shortly.
You gotta wonder if those two are gonna pit just as they get to the back of that.
Yeah, they're at about a 31.5 in average their laps right now. Between the two of them.
So I see pit stops happening fairly soon. Oh, he's gonna... There we go. There goes Earnhardt.
Wow, Kligerman's gonna fight hard, but not enough. Oh, wow.
Big run off the floor for Kligerman there.
That was a hell of a move from Parker Kligerman. He wants to try and hold this lead going into green flag pit stops.
Robbins and Hassler reeling them in while they fight.
Yeah, when they get side by side like this, this is only good news for the third and fourth place.
Big bobble from Kligerman there, coming out of 4 this time.
And just in time for them to catch the lap traffic of Dave Blaney.
We'll see what the gap is. Oh. Jeffrey already starting to pull away a little bit from Kligerman there. That's going to be huge for Parker. Having Blaney hold Earnhardt up just a little. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how much time Parker gained because Earnhardt had to be behind Blaney.
Even Friday Hassler and Marty Robbins coming back into the picture here too. They're getting by Dave Blaney with ease. Now Marty Robbins not so much.
I think that was a little bit to do with how long Hassler took to get around Blaney.
112 laps to go. It's going to be getting down to crunch time here at Darlington. Pit stops likely along the horizon. We're going to be seeing most of the leaders come down pit road here shortly.
I'd just like to point out, it's almost 16 seconds back to Wally Dallenbeck in 10th.
That's about half a lap right there. That's more than half a lap.
Yeah, 16 seconds now. Almost 16 and a half, really.
And just like the start of the race, we had Jeffrey Earnhardt leading over Parker Kligerman. A little bit of difference at the third place. We used to have Richard Childress in the top 3. now belongs to Friday Hassler. Marty Robbins has been in the top 5 for a majority of the day. And how about Kenny Irwin Jr. up to 5th there?
Yeah, he's been quiet all day long.
Silent assassin on that part.
Man, Robin's having a really, really rough time getting by Blaney back there. You gotta wonder if maybe he's used up everything he has trying to stay
Oh, he got
caught up.
yeah, he got by it finally, but running 32.
That took a lot longer than what it should have.
Yeah, 32.7 on his last lap when even Friday Hassler turned to 31.8. Car of Sam Hornish Jr.
I think the 67 was just coming out of the pits there in the background. Man, Earnhardt has a lot left in the tank, I think. Because he is absolutely clearing out these lap cars.
Try to keep himself out of trouble. It might bite him in the butt racing this hard against the lappers.
Yeah, because it seems like he keeps what he does is if the lap cars won't move, he'll get into their quarter panel coming into the corner. Lots of cars coming down pit road.
Wow.
Getting close to 100 to go here. Clickerman at the back of these lap cars now.
Hopefully all are satisfied with the action that we've had present here today. Getting towards the closing segments here. Still a lot of racing.
Hassler stays out.
Hassler's going to try to stretch the strategy, and it might not be a good idea if he's running so much slower than the leader. He should be coming down sooner than later. But we'll see. He's going to be credited with
Let's go see if he comes in this lap.
Marty Robbins is down pit road. Hassler gonna stick it out. Nope, he's coming down pit road
coming
this
in.
time by.
It's gonna hand the lead potentially over to
Kenny
Irwin or Scott Riggs, one of the two. Depending on if he Kenny Irwin in. Scott Riggs gonna try to lead the lap.
Staying out another lap. Friday Hassler. Oh, right there, he got it at the lead. Friday Hassler was just right behind the line when he was on pit road there. He might be pushing it a bit too far.
Look at Robbins.
Either running out of gas or Marty's just got that much of an advantage with his tires. Marty Robbins actually beats Jeffrey Earnhardt out of the pits, inheriting the lead.
Riggs staying out for another lap.
It's crazy.
What was his lap time that time by?
At 33, it had to have been 32.8.
32.
Just about. Oh, they almost wrecked there. Did you see
Marty
Robbins in the outside? That was hairy.
But you got to think Scott Riggs has all these guys a lap.
No. Scott Riggs just gave Marty Robbins some trouble there as he got stuck on the outside.
Oh, what is Scott doing?
Shit,
he might be.
He could be trying to push this for a one more stopper.
Yeah, because if he can make it to 67, he's not going to have to pit again. I don't think he'll have to pit again. Here he comes.
On lap 266. So let's see when he last pitted. At lap 200 would be 66 laps on the strategy. Okay, Yeah, it's not. It's gonna be a mute point because he pitted on lap 196. He pushed it
So only
to
70 some.
70 laps is about the capacity here.
Yeah, so he's gonna be.
He's still gonna be 30 laps shy, but
He'll
he's gonna
need
have
less fuel than the rest.
fresher tires. Oh, and we get a caution to boot.
Where's he at? 6th place. Oh, the 74 of Randy LaJoy. Oh no. Oh, he just gets pinned.
Chad Little coming in on the inside. The slower traffic at Teague. That could still
He tried to keep it straight, but
be a good sign for Scott Riggs even.
yeah, I think this is going to work out for him quite well.
I think he's a lap down though, unfortunately. He's just now
Um,
coming. Well,
No, I think this was the rewind. Yeah, we're not
yep.
live right now, so
Yeah, he came out 7th on that, so he's gonna have to beat the 33 off pit road here. He might have lucked out because I think the 33 completed his lap. Yep, look at he's on the lead lap.
Oh, that was close.
The way it fell, he's gonna maintain fresher
Yep.
tires and everything. We'll
By
see
like
if
2-3 laps too.
NR 2003 if it dilly-dallies with that on him, but 12 cars left on the lead lap after that one.
Let's skip to
gonna
live and
inherit the
see where
lead,
we're
I
at
think,
here.
because he might just stay out when everyone else pits. Nope.
Back
Jeffrey
to
Earnhardt.
8th.
Marty Robbins 2nd.
Oh, now we're down to 100 laps to go.
Richard Childress must have got trapped a lap down somehow. Yeah, 1 lap down in 14th. Dick Trickle 1 lap down in 13th.
A lot of lap cars in the middle there.
Still no new retirees after that caution. The 74 of
Randy LaJoy.
Where is he?
I think he was up in
17.
the top 17. Parker Kligerman going to restart on the ideal line behind Jeffrey.
True. Yeah, our top 4 is definitely still the top 4. Danica somehow has worked her way up to 5th. Race has had just a bit of everything included. We have had some good wrecks, we've had some good racing, pit strategies and everything. It's played out all in one package deal here. And they're not good enough to go all the way to the finish. They're gonna have another pit stop with around 30 laps to go. If we happen to get another caution, it might help them avoid green flag pit stops at the end.
Oh no, come on, people.
Shuffle things out here. Worst case scenario, I can rethrow the yellow to try and shake things back in the right direction.
You might have to. I think you're going to have to.
Last time I did under caution, it crashed the game, so I'm going to wait till they drop the green think there's a good chance they can get it still sorted out here.
I
It's
don't
gonna be bad.
have faith. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna do it.
Too many lap cars. Oh wait.
I think they're just doubling up how they are right now. Yeah, I think you're gonna end up having to. Yeah, they just doubled up how they were, which I guess is fine.
No biggie. Still double file restart, so.
Yep. Just makes it more difficult for the people that are in between.
They're gonna have so much momentum coming forward here. Watch, they're gonna beat them to the start-finish line.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
Yeah, that was okay. Hey,
That's all right.
top 3 maintain their position and no drama there. So
Marty Robbins gonna take the lead again, though. We'll see how long he can hold off Jeffrey and Parker. Not long. Not long. Considering how dominant these two have been.
39 of Friday Hassler looked like he got into the wall there. Yep, he's got the Darlington stripe to count. Oh no, they're looking unruly there.
Ooh.
Mike
Wow.
Skinner keeping it going forward at least.
I'm wondering. I don't know what he was doing there. I'm wondering if maybe he could be getting close to fuel? Maybe he didn't pit?
It looked like it.
Because it looked like he was trying to shuffle around the fuel there for a second. Somebody was on pit road just now.
Oh, the 41 of Reed Sorensen. No, Jeffrey Earnhardt settles into the lead again here. Marty Robbins second. Parker Kligerman third. Danica Patrick in fourth. And Friday Hassler in fifth. Mike Skinner right there outside the top 5 and 6th. Jimmy Means, Scott Riggs, Wally Dallenbach Jr., and Hut Strickland. The only other 2 cars on the lead lap, the 18 of J.J. Yaley and 28 of Kenny Irwin Jr. Kenny Irwin was sitting in the top 5 at one point. Now he's struggling in 12th there.
I think the lap cars in between really, really hurt those that were within distance.
True. That restart was kind of hairy.
Well, it also didn't help the people that were supposed to be a lot closer to the front.
Marty Robbins is going to try to fight back for the lead here.
Getting ready to come to 90 to go here soon.
Thanks again for lending your broadcasting voice to the series here.
Oh, I absolutely love joining you, man. It's a blast.
I'm glad I can host these races, and they seem to do pretty good on here, so this will be my first full year under YouTube. I started January of this year, so kind of putting a big neat ribbon on 2022 for me with this event. I remember thinking about this concept in my head, and I was like, okay, I want to make this a reality, and a little bit of help from some of the other folks on the server helping with the paints and whatnot. We made this thing a reality in record time. I didn't get quite, my goals were a bit ambitious. I wanted to create 82 cars. There was no way I was going to get 82 of them done by this time. So I kind of got more realistic with those goals and focused on 42 cars. And this will be a new event that'll be hosted each year, hopefully, from here on out. Maybe a biannual, maybe around like the 4th of July we might do one, and right around Christmas like this. Kind of fun.
Well, it's looking more and more like Jeffrey Earnhardt will not be joining us next time.
Nope. Yep, this will be the first retiree from the series after they win a race. And the only reason I don't run this, I wouldn't want to run it too often, is because eventually 42 races, you would have 42 retirees, and then you wouldn't have much to deal with anymore. I was able to pinpoint 82 drivers, so there is 82 candidates for the series, and some drivers may or may not be able to continue to be eligible, given that someone like Parker Kligerman still competes in the real life Cup Series. Matt DiBenedetto, if they were somehow able to win a Cup race, pull a Michael McDowell of sorts, they would no longer be eligible for the series. So,
Well, you got to think there's probably a possibility of going even further back and finding more obscure drivers that don't have wins.
It starts to get harder to find a solid paint scheme. You basically have to go off of recollections from people's,
Random blogs.
yeah, their memories or their collections on a blog.
Jeffrey Earnhardt pulling away once again. What are we coming to? 80 to go? Yeah. Coming to 80 to go here in a few laps.
Jeffrey Earnhardt's kind of stabilized his lead up there, as Marty Robbins is holding about half-second deficit on him. Looks like he's getting a run here, though. It's going to be shorter deficit at the finish line that time by.
Kligerman gaining 200ths there. You gotta wonder if somebody would try to play the strategy of once we hit lap 307, maybe coming in and trying to leapfrog the field at the end there.
True. It's definitely on the option chamber.
Well, and then you got to think about like people like Scott Riggs who came in when that caution came out.
And he has nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah, because he could either do that or he could try to go long, put a lap on the field, and then hope for the best.
Still, we haven't had any new retirees. Still 29 cars alive on track. Dave Blaney has just been bandaging it along here in 29th place, 5 laps down. Adam Petty, luckily, has been able to gain a bunch of positions after his early woes, struggling with a tire failure. He's dropped another 2 laps down since his initial 2 laps, down to 4 laps down. Richard Childress, who was running top 5 most of the day, Looks like he's going to settle for outside the top 25. Brad Teague, 26th. Reed Sorensen, 25th. Sam Hornish Jr., Joe Ruttman, Mike Lynette, Josh Wise, Buckshot Jones with a 20th, not too bad. Todd Bodine, Chad Little, Randy LaJoy, Ben Arnold, Dick Trickle, JD Arrington, and the number 11 of Jason Leffler. Only 12 cars on our lead lap. Those that are still in contention for the money, the 31 of Mike Skinner would be Atlee's pick. The 25 of Wally Dallenbach.
Danica Patrick sitting in 4th now. Also, Parker Kligerman falling way off right now.
Yeah, the lap car of Leffler's actually catching him now.
I'm wondering if he picked up damage somewhere or something? Because he was gaining a little bit here and there, but now he's just kind of fallen off.
The last one to
No.
receive any damage was actually Richard Childress, which we didn't catch. That's why he's trapped a couple laps down.
Yeah, the 2 lap cars of Leffler and Petty are both right on his back bumper.
Jimmy Means is still alive to net Trevor some money if he can pull off the win here in 7th. Unlikely, but still potential candidate. And even Scott Riggs, who was bet on by Brian DeBlanc, could still gain some money here with his wager.
Looked like Robbins struggled to get through that lap traffic there.
Now Danica Patrick in 4th. Bella Fawn has picked to wager on Danica, so there's that. So there's still 3 people within range of picking the winner. Going to be 70 laps to go. And it's been a clinic put on by Jeffrey Earnhardt at the front.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how many laps he led today. Because he has put on an absolutely dominant performance.
Funny part is, what if this predicted anything for Jeffrey Earnhardt? I know he's still alive, he's still active in NASCAR. He's going to be racing Xfinity full-time in 2023. Imagine if he somehow found a way back into Cup and still found a way to victory lane in real life. That would kind of nullify and make things crazy for our first official. Obviously, nothing's official yet. We still got a lot of racing to go here, but the what ifs are still, they'll start to kick in.
I really think those lap cars that didn't want to cycle to the back absolutely killed everybody within that would have been within striking distance on the restart.
Yeah. Danica being the nearest in the back there at 4th, she's 10 seconds back, so But even then, they were able to get sorted out. I don't think they have the speed to run with these guys.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that. I just think that the times would be a lot less
True. It'd be maybe
had.
about 6 or 7 seconds back instead of 10, 11,
Yeah,
15. Still got a pretty solid fight here for the win. I mean, Jeffrey Earnhardt is not walking away with this at all.
yeah. Marty Robbins right on his back bumper here. He's just looking for an opportunity to try to get by him.
And we got 66 laps to go now. So this will be within the pit window. If they wanted to start pitting now, they can make it to the finish. But obviously, we'll see these guys try to push the envelope on their strategy as far as they can.
Yeah, these two have everything to lose by a bad pit stop. Parker Klickerman, on the other hand, right now, that's debatable.
His best bet might be to pit early and try to get out there on fresh tires and put up laps faster than them.
It seems like every time Robbins gets to the back of Earnhardt, he seems to fumble and get a little bit loose and falls back a little bit. But then he'll rebound and come right back to the back bumper of Earnhardt.
I'm wondering if that's the product of the next gen car, the way that their aero kits are set up. Especially that Dodge, the nose on that Dodge, it kind of disturbs the air more than most. So I'm assuming that Dodge has a hard time staying within tow.
Because look, here he comes again.
Looks like they're going to deal with lap traffic again here.
I think that's Sam Hornish.
Yep, he's going to go
in
yet
front of
again,
him.
Another lap down. 2 laps down right now, so he's been able to hold on. Not too bad. The way he's been running, you'd think he'd be 10 laps down.
Jeffrey opening that gap up just a little bit more.
Look at that, and there's a run coming for Marty Robbins. Like you were saying, this is probably where we're going to see him make a run and then fudge it. Lap traffic's coming at the right time for Marty Robbins. We are officially at the 3-hour mark from when the stream started at noon. Whoa.
Whoa!
They avoided any kind of contact there, but that was definitely a vicarious position there for Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Looks like he's just going to decide to... Nope. Spoke too soon. Looked like he was just going to stay behind Hornish there for a second, but then decided against it. Oh, Robin's going to struggle to get around Hornish here.
That'll ultimately...
Yeah. Klickerman 4 seconds back now. I'm wondering if on that last stop they maybe made a bad adjustment.
It seems like it, because the rest of the drivers that have been running at the front all day are driving away with it. Heck, our other contender all day, the
Hassler.
Yeah, Hassler there all the way back to 6th, so he's struggling even harder on this stretch of green flag run.
I feel like our top 10 has stayed mostly the same. Like occasionally we'll have one or two drivers that sneak in there,
Mm-hmm.
but for the most part all day it's been the same. It's been the same drivers.
I'm trying to think without looking at the qualifying. Actually, I can look at qualifying. We'll see who the biggest climber of them were. Jeffrey on the pole, of course. Marty Robbins in 4th. Yeah, like you said, most of the guys in the rundown.
I'd say biggest gainer is probably Scott Riggs, it looks like.
Scott Riggs or Danica Patrick? Danica came from 21st, but yeah, Scott Riggs came
Scott's
from
27th.
27th. Most of your guys at the back kind of finished right where they were running. Jimmy Means has made up a big amount of space from 35th into the top 10.
Oh, he'll be our biggest mover then. If he's in the top 10, then he's our biggest mover so far.
Yeah, the 52 of Means in 7th, and we had Josh Wise blowing up there. Running on field in 23rd. Right behind Ben Arnold here.
Yep,
Blows
just let
up.
go coming out of 2 there.
56% damage to the engine, so that'll be terminal. Oh, wow, there is a huge bundle of cars here. Mike Skinner into the top 5. Oh, the lap traffic of Dave Blaney, of course. Parker Kligerman's kind of
Almost 5 seconds back now.
I think he's kind of plateaued out here with how much he's losing. And he's still losing a little bit, but not by much. Pit stops are going to be happening here probably in a couple laps, as we saw one car on pit road already.
There's been a few cars on pit road already. As we get ready to come to 50 to go here in a few laps. So this will essentially be the money stop here.
I'm going to do this one more time before the end of the race. Part 3. Since I usually have to save in about hour increments.
Yeah, getting ready to come to 50 to go here in about 2-3 laps. 2 laps coming this time.
I don't foresee a caution coming out here, so we're going to get green flag pit stops to the finish.
Yeah, unless something absolutely crazy happens with that massive pack with Parker Kligerman leading it.
Well, and even like Josh Wise having a mechanical failure there, it didn't bring out the caution, but we still have enough cars out there that mechanical failure could potentially affect the outcome here. Man, I like Marty Robbins in 2nd there. That'd be a cool victory if he could pull it off.
I think at this point he's just trying to learn where Earnhardt is weak.
Yeah,
But I don't think he's going to find any place where Earnhardt's been weak.
he's not letting Earnhardt get away for him, that's for sure.
Yeah. Coming to 50 to go this time. I'll be curious to see what Scott Riggs does when everybody else comes to pit.
Where he's stretching it as long as he did, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, because he stretched it a good 2-3 laps past everybody.
And what he could do is if he stretches it and gets that caution, he could potentially be on a lap all of his own if it falls right.
Yeah, because he has 3 lap. I think he has what, 2-3 lap fresher tires than everybody.
Roughly, yeah.
So that means he still has three extra laps of fuel compared to everybody else. So he could just stay out and keep rolling and put everybody lap down, as like I said earlier.
Oh, that looked like the 39 of
That-
Hassler.
That was Hassler. Yep.
So our leaders aren't going to be too far off here from making their pit stops.
No. I actually think Earnhardt and Robbins are playing chicken right
Trying
now.
to see who will pit first.
Yep.
Another guy on
That
pit road.
That was Kenny Irwin Jr.
Good eye, good eye.
Hassler still on pit road, it looked like.
.46 laps to go. If any of you missed the action up to this point so far and just catching up within the last closing 40 laps, it's been a dominant performance by our leader, Jeffrey Earnhardt, who's led easily 70% of the laps today here. He's had some contenders fighting for that lead with Marty Robbins, Parker Kligerman, and who would you say had been the other contender in that group?
Hassler.
Hassler, yeah.
Hassler hasn't led many. I don't know if Hassler's led any laps, but he's at least been fighting it the whole time. Although right now he's not in a good position, 2 laps down.
Amongst the ones that are out of the race, there really wasn't any tough breaks for anyone. Amongst the ones that are out, none of them really showed any strength at winning today. Yeah, Josh Wise was a no factor. Brendan Gaughan was top 10 at one point. Rick Wilson wasn't a factor. Scott Wimmer, no. Landon Castle, no. JD McDuffie, no. Gillen, no.
De Benedetto was up front for a little bit, not long.
Yeah, De Benedetto was about as good as Brendan Gaughan with a top 10 at times. So really our retirees weren't running good enough to be contenders today. There is more of a tough break though, so for Richard Childress, who was in the top 5, mired 2 laps down right down in 19th. Ben Arnold, kind of unfortunate circumstances for him as he was having a good run, got wound up in a wreck. Still actively out there running in the top 15. Huge improvement for Jimmy Means, who's come from 35th all the way up to 8th. And Danica Patrick is very well improved in her run up to 4th there.
Scott Riggs as well, up to 6th.
Yeah.
From 27th, I believe.
Yep. Looks like we got some pit stops.
Danica Patrick in.
And
Was that Scott Riggs in with her?
Hut Strickland, actually.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yep, 12 is Strickland. Oh, and there's smoke.
Oh, but no caution.
Okay, too much now, too much.
Oh, that's what
It's a
happened.
light.
Couple people tagged the wall and got together.
Man, that's an odd set to smoke up. Okay, someone just locked up the brakes. That's the 25 of Dallenbach.
Yep.
Yep.
I tried to stay out of the back of the 74.
Well, that's a bummer for
And-
Dallenbach.
Yeah. We better go back to live, sir.
Yep.
I believe our leaders should be getting ready here. Scott Riggs in, which is weird. Everybody in, pretty much.
Where's the 33?
33 was on pit road. .30 off pit road. 33 and 42 off pit road. 1-2 still. And we got 40 to go. Coming to 39 to go now.
And that'll be the final stop. Look at Hassler. His pitting early might have prevailed for him. Oh shoot, he's a lap down. I was hoping that was for position in third. Unfortunately, it's 1 lap down in 12th. So fresh rubber.
Yeah, it's gonna be these two unless we get a caution.
Fresh rubber and full gas. We're gonna see just who's got the fastest car here.
Oh man, heartbreak for Scott Riggs. He fell out of the top 10. At least for now. Oh.
Oh, nice, Elite.
That opened the door for Robbins. And here comes Hassler, too. So this is definitely going to hurt Jeffrey Earnhardt. Yeah, Hassler going to get around him as well.
Nice. So Marty Robbins, with a little bit of luck, prevails in taking the lead from Jeffrey Earnhardt here with 46 to go. But look at, here he comes on the inside. He's going to try to make a charge back. I would not count Jeffrey Earnhardt out of this one bit because he has got the strongest car, hands down.
And Robbins seems to consistently struggle with getting around people.
This is going to be the huge factor here is if Marty Robbins can get by the slap traffic brigade. Also, with the lap traffic putting a wrinkle in things, we might not have seen the last wreck. We might even see a wreck with leaders involved, so who knows?
Getting close to 30 to go here.
Wow, that's a gaggle right there in front of them.
And that's all lap traffic already. So
get by Reed Sorensen here. So that's 1 lap car behind him. Looks like he got the wall for Darlington striping.
well, and I think that's what Marty Robinson wants, is to keep having lap traffic that forces everybody to the left.
Yep.
Because that's exactly what's keeping Earnhardt behind him, is the fact that they have to keep passing cars on the left.
30 laps to go this time by. If any of y'all are settling in for the closing laps here, we've got one hell of a battle forming here. The dominant leader of Jeffrey Earnhardt, who's led all the laps, is looking to be on the outside looking in right now, as Marty Robbins strategically found his way past him. Dealing with lap traffic after the green flag pit stops that they made. It's only a 2-car fight, but it's gonna be a battle down to the very last lap here at Darlington. Jeffrey's
30 laps to go.
definitely got the faster of the 2 cars, but actually that's incorrect because Marty Robbins holds the fastest lap on the race here. Jeffrey Earnhardt 4th fastest. It just doesn't seem like it because Jeffrey Earnhardt's led 80% of the laps here at Darlington today.
Robbins is slowly asking for Earnhardt to run into the back of him. The way he keeps checking up every time they come into a corner.
And maybe that's just trying to get, mind games started too. Trying to juke out Jeffrey Earnhardt to get him out of his rhythm. With fresh tires, they're running the fastest laps of a run here at 28. Lap traffic slowing them down significantly. They could be running much faster than that if they were able to get by them all. No one else is in contention for this win, as Parker Kligerman is 8.3 seconds back of the lead 2.
Jeffrey took a look there to the inside of Robbins, but the problem is he has nowhere to go once he gets next to him or by him.
Oh, wait. Maybe the opportunity presented itself there. No, not quite.
He keeps peeking out, but I think he realizes that he has nowhere to go once he gets by him right now. And I think Robbins wants to keep it that way.
Looking a little bit further back in the top 5, it looks like Hut Strickland's going to settle for a top 5. Jimmy Means in 7th. He's actually about to go a lap down right there in the 52 car, so that would put us down to 6 cars on the lead lap if they're able to get by him. The 00 Buckshot Jones right there in front of him. He's 2 laps down in 21st. In the meantime, it's the waiting game to see who's going to make the right move at the right time here between Jeffrey and Marty.
Yeah, I'm wondering if either Jeffrey doesn't have the speed to get by him for some reason now, or he realizes that he has nowhere to go once he gets by Robbins.
Well, I think he's trying to conserve his tires for a one lap pass for the lead. We could see a photo finish. Oh, and there's
There it is. We spoke way too soon.
a bobble from Marty Robbins gives Jeffrey Earnhardt the lead.
That's going to put him behind Chad Little for sure. Oh, no.
Marty
He manages to keep it together.
back up into 2nd.
Let's see if he can get back to him again, though.
But I think the lap traffic's ultimately the big factor here, as they're having troubles getting around them. See Marty Robbins close right back up on the bumper of Earnhardt.
Not able to keep it as centered as Jeffrey was coming into the corner, though.
22 laps to go. I almost wonder if Marty Robbins gave him the position so that Marty Robbins could be in the catbird seat.
So, 20 to go next time by here.
It's crazy how almost close, you know, they're running identically to those lap cars in front of them. Because even
Well,
when
it looks like the 84 of Dick Trickle is holding everybody up a little bit.
yeah, you just can't get enough of a peak on the inside to make a move. Jimmy Means is the 7th fastest, well, not fastest, but 7th place car out there, so you gotta imagine he's fast enough to hold his own against the leader.
Yeah. 19 laps to go here.
Yep. Oh, and there we go. He's gonna make a move and start moving through the lap cars potentially. Means
There we
be
go.
1 lap down now, putting us with 6 cars on the lead lap. That was possibly the hardest move that Jeffrey Earnhardt's had to make all day.
Oh, he's got 3 more of those to make before he's free of lap traffic for a little bit. And looks like he's going to try to waste no time going to work on that.
That aggressive factor kicks in there. As you can see, he just kind of gave him a nudge. It's like, hey, I'm coming through. You're the slower traffic. Marty Robbins is going to have 17 laps here left to try and claim victory over Jeffrey Earnhardt.
That's going to hurt him right there. Not getting by Dick Trickle off that corner is definitely going to hurt him a little bit.
I don't know, it kind of set him up on a different line. It looks like that line's helping him reel in Earnhardt. Well, look at this, look at this. Oh! The momentum on Earnhardt's side for now. But Robbins is making as many good moves as he can to keep position in second without a lap car between them.
We'll see what happens now. We get ready to come to 15 to go this time.
I'm smelling a Darlington checker finish here.
Yeah, me too. Coming up on 2 more lapped cars. I don't know if we'll get to them before the end of this, but I think we will. Danica Patrick outside of the top 5 now.
Marty Robbins just sitting back there trying to set up his opportunity to pounce. With the faster of the 2 cars, he's proven all day that he's got the speed to beat Jeffrey Earnhardt. Perhaps he just hasn't had the position to beat Jeffrey Earnhardt. Now he's got the opportunity and position to try and pounce.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this 18 car here, as well as Sam Hornish, who has constantly kind of been in the way. Every time they've gone to lap him, he's affected the race somehow. Gonna get by J.J. Yaley fairly easily, it looks like. Yep.
Marty had to take a different line through the turn there, and it kind of slowed him down a bit. Only 12 laps to go. We're in crunch time. So Marty's going to have to try and close in faster to get by Sam Hornish with ease here so that he doesn't lose any more traction to Jeffrey. Looks like he did just about as good as he could there.
Jeffrey's just so good off of 4.
11 to go.
You gotta wonder if they might make it to Danica Patrick.
That's a whole 3-car slew of there. 10 laps to go.
And all 3 of those cars are on the lead lap, so
Man, they're in
minus the
same.
67.
That's a whole line of cars. And they're getting held up by Dave Blaney right now, so it's going to be close. But they're the closest together that they've been in this closing stint. Marty Robbins still within striking distance.
10 to go.
I don't think the lap traffic's going to create much of a hassle here, as it's going to
I don't think so either.
It's going to be a race of horsepower to determine the winner here. I talked too soon because that lap traffic is looming ever closer. They're going to catch them in a matter of 2 or 3 laps, actually.
It may help Marty Robbins. Because in those long streams of traffic, he seems to be pretty good at managing when to go.
Just a little under 15 miles left to go here. It's been a grueling 500-mile event, the Redemption 500. 7 laps to go.
Danica Patrick back up into the top 5.
Mike Skinner cruising his way into 4th.
About to get hairy. Here we go.
Let's see who's got the best chess moves here. Robbins is going to have to find a way around Jeffrey Earnhardt here to take the win.
And Jeffrey's going to have to be patient. He can't be aggressive as he has been with everybody.
Honestly, I think Marty Robbins is sitting the best of the 2 of them. He can kind of pick his battles as he goes here with 5 laps to go. He doesn't have to push the envelope. He just has to make sure that he pushes Jeffrey Earnhardt into a mistake.
I don't think that's where Jeffrey wants to be right now.
Oh, Danica, so that's going to put us down to 4 cars on the lead lap, as our 2 lead lap drivers are both going a lap down, 4th and 5th place, or 5th and 6th. Down a lap now.
4 to go.
And Jeffrey's got some separation at the moment.
He is just picking off these lapped cars here.
Marty Robbins tried to do a dip there. Got a little bit awkward there for him in 2nd. Perhaps he's trying to find a different line to try and... Wow, they're pushing the envelope here with lap traffic. You can tell Marty Robbins wants this badly.
Oh, 67 into the wall there a little bit.
The 2 of them were driving so hard into the turn there. I thought they were going to make contact. Oh, no.
Oh, Robbins into the pits.
What the heck?
Can Jeffrey make it then?
That's an average pit stop. There's nothing wrong with the 42 car, but that's a unusual time to pit.
Is Jeffrey gonna make it though now? That's the question.
And what about Parker Kligerman? The math numbers do not line up. I don't know why Marty Robbins couldn't make it. Hands down, it's looking like it's going to go to the dominant driver here, but we'll see if he can make it. We have a lot of people coming down pit road. Bizarre turn of events here. As there's only 2 laps to go, he's going to get the white flag this next time by. There's no way he's
There we
going to
go.
pit. Marty Robbins must have had a mistake on pit road. They must not have been able to get it full. Because as you can see, no one else has had to pit yet.
Yeah. That's a shame for him, but good news for Jeffrey Earnhardt is he takes the 1 to go.
Parker Kligerman's not out of this deal. If Jeffrey Earnhardt gets loose or tries to fight a
If
little
he
too
comes,
hard.
or if he has to come down pit road for some reason. Nope, not going to come down pit road. Coming off 4 for the final time. Jacob, take it away.
Jeffrey Earnhardt will take home the first ever Redemption 500 race. Retire as a winner and no longer be considered for this series. Man, it was looking like Marty Robbins was going to put up a fight there, all for naught in the closing laps. Marty Robbins still come home 6th, 1 lap down with that pit stop. Everyone second on back will still be eligible for next year's event here. This was an exciting event for sure. Did not know.
Where did Scott Riggs end up finishing?
Scott Riggs come home in 12th.
12th, 1 lap down, huh? Almost 2.
Man,
Because that's who Jeffrey Earnhardt was working on getting by at that closing lap.
forecast, I did not see Jeffrey Earnhardt even coming close to being a contender here, but if you think about it, the newer cars, the newer drivers maybe have a little bit more knowledge on these next-gen cars, if you wanted to look at it that way.
Yeah.
And all I ask for everyone on the broadcast here, try to keep spoilers to a minimum for the next day or two. I know that Ewan wanted to watch it, and I don't know if he was able to tune in. He said he was going to be busy today, so he might be able to catch it on re-air. We did get to see it was setting up for an entertaining finish. Unfortunately, there had to have been a pit stop that kind of messed around with that, but the first ever Redemption 500, first of how many ever I decide to run from here on out. We might get one in July, or we might wait until next December. So that is a wrap. Jeffrey Earnhardt dominated. Only 2 cars on the lead lap at the end here with him and Parker Kligerman. Kligerman would have had a shot if Jeffrey had some struggles with the lead or lap traffic there at the end of it.
Before we close out here, I just want to point out Adam Petty, 26th.
Yeah. After struggling at the start and falling all the way to the back, he was able to ride the attrition train to a decent finish.
Yeah. Only lost 2 more laps after that first initial incident at the start.
Looks like my stream went with 0 dropped frames, so that was a plus. 3.5 hours. We definitely endured a long race, so.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race.
Dominant performance from Jeffrey for sure, but we'll see next year who's going to be the contender. I think Marty Robbins is going to try to put his name in the hat again.
Yeah. I think a lot of drivers after that are going to be pretty hungry next time we do this.
We'll have to figure out what the rotation of tracks will be. I really wanted to do Darlington first because it felt like a throwback. You know, they already do the throwback race in the Cup Series, and Darlington just seemed fitting for this first of many Redemption 500s. So perhaps we'll do a super speedway style one next, or maybe even a road course, because it'll be, you know, measuring each of their, you know, different statistics at those different track setups. So I want to go ahead and get things closed out here. Thank you everyone for making this event what it was. Would have been nothing without the viewers. You have anything to add to it, James?
This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to next season of the trucks, the Cup, and the Bush Series, and hopefully maybe 2 more of these next year.
Yeah, no, and hopefully some of y'all that just joined, hopefully you can stay in tune for our Truck, Bush, and Cup series that'll be doing basically what I did here, just simulate it out. We got a bunch of new people joining the Cup ranks. We're gonna have 14 rookies in Cup. Trucks, we're gonna have pretty good cast of truck drivers, 56 drivers in the truck series. That means we're going to have to run qualifiers and heats to decide the main for each week. So, yeah, no, this was just kind of the big ribbon on 2022 after a full year of me doing streaming. It's definitely improved much over January 2022, and I'm hoping to have a good product for January 2023 and onward. So, thanks again, James, for hopping in with me on the stream, and we'll likely be dual streaming again many times throughout the years. So,
Yeah, it's always a pleasure, man. It's always fun.
so everyone, have a good day. Merry holidays. I don't know if I want to just say happy holidays and happy new year to everyone. So, until next year, I'll be off for the next 2 weeks. This is Jakester signing out.